waves crashing loud, a steady beat. Palms swaying left, swaying right. Endless blue from day to night. Siren calling, feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Siren calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Barbecue smoke fills the air. Street stalls glow without a care. Red rice served with love so true. Callaghan shining in the view. Drums pounding in the distance. Dance ignites the night's persistence. Saipan calling, feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Saipan calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Tomorrow chants, they rise, they fall. History carved in every wall. Tinian whispers ancient lore. Saipan soul forevermore. Saipan calling, feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Saipan calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Saipan calling, feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Saipan calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Dreams reside. Dreams
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. The chief federal judge in Minnesota says the Trump administration failed to comply with orders to hold hearings for detained immigrants. The judge ordered the head of ICE to appear before him Friday to explain why he shouldn't be held in contempt. President Trump has put border czar Tom Homan in charge in Minnesota after officers shot and killed ICU nurse Alex Preddy.
We're doing a big investigation. I want to see the investigation. I'm going to be watching over it. I want a very honorable and honest investigation. I have to see it myself.
Earlier, Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. The NTSB is holding a hearing on the deadly collision last year between an American Airlines jet and an Army helicopter near Washington, D.C.
Board member Todd Inman, in opening remarks, said to family members, "I'm sorry, we should not be here."
There is no singular person to blame for this. These were systemic issues across multiple organizations. And I think, as you'll see, we will place a lot of the information that you're going to hear on those responsible organizations and hopefully make recommendations so that this never happens again.
That's what Tim Lilly, whose son Sam died in the crash, wants.
What we're really looking for is action that can prevent any families from having to go through this.
The NTSB is recommending additional action. Whether that happens depends on Congress, the Army, and the Trump administration. I'm Julie Walker.
The NTSB is beginning investigations at a Maine airport where a business jet crashed during takeoff, killing all 6 people on board. TikTok has agreed to settle a landmark social media addiction lawsuit just before the trial kicked off. TikTok was accused of deliberately addicting and harming children, along with Meta's Instagram and Google's YouTube. Snapchat's parent company settled the case last week. The U.S. is sending an ICE unit to the Winter Olympics in Italy for security. This is AP News. It looks like another NFL coaching job has been filled.
The Buffalo Bills are promoting offensive coordinator Joe Brady to head coach. Two people with knowledge of the decision tell the Associated Press. One of the people said Brady has agreed to a 5-year contract to take over a Josh Allen-led perennial winner that's accomplished everything short of reaching a Super Bowl. The 36-year-old just finished his 4th season in Buffalo and his 2nd full season as coordinator. Brady's promotion brings continuity to Buffalo a little over a week after Sean McDermott was fired following a 9-year tenure. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
A young mountain lion has been spotted roaming the streets of San Francisco. Authorities say the animal was located near Lafayette Park, where wildlife officials are trying to capture it safely. Neighbors have been warned about the sighting in Pacific Heights and were told to back away if they encounter the lion. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
They still haven't given any advice about those cougars, though.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works. Because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Alarm clock bark, sky still gray, radio clicks on, static haze. Good morning, Marianas, in my face. Brad yelling, wake up, Saipan, no escape. Coffee burns my lip, he laughs in my kitchen. Talks like he knows every bruise that I am in. Good morning, Marianas. Rise up, Saipan. Hawks on the harbor, headlines in his hand. Good morning, Marianas. Live from the reef to the ridge. Brad with the weather and a dare on the bridge. Traffic on Beach Road, kids half dressed. He jokes about rain and unpaid rent. Says call the show, tell me what you regret. Then plays our song like a second chance bet. He says, say your name, we say it like a prayer. Through busted speakers, we are almost there. Good morning, Marianas. Rise up, Saipan. Shacks and condos, all sing with the fan. Good morning, Marianas. Old scars, new daylight. Brad talks nonsense, somehow gets it right.
Good morning, Marianas. Good morning, everybody. 7:41 in the morning on Wednesday. It is wet outside, and it's going to be wet for a while, and that's has nothing to do with what happened with you last night. I don't know how you played your cards, but maybe that had something to do with it. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is going to be a great day today. Hopefully a little bit drier. We're going to hear about all of it here in just a second. Right now, we're looking at 79 degrees up at the Saipan International Airport. Humidity's at 82%, but we got a 70% chance of rain today. It's going to be blowing around. Gusts as high as 20 miles per hour, and we are looking at a high near 87. Raise your hand if you had your heater on in the car when you were leaving for work this morning. Maybe it's just me, but it certainly didn't feel like it was just me because, my goodness, I want to make sure I got all that moisture out of there. Oh, moist. I know. There's still some dampness hanging around, getting rained on yesterday, slapping around through puddles, visiting the folks over at NM Tech, which, by the way, is a whole heck of a lot drier than it was 2 days ago. I thought yesterday it was going to just be slammed again. Nope, those guys are all over. We're going to talk about that today, too. But first thing we're going to do is get to that weather. We are giving a call, clearly a yawning call, over to Landon. He's going to be on the other page here in just a second. We're going to find out what the heck happened, how we got inundated by so much rain yesterday. I'm not sure how it happened, but the guy that we're about to talk to, oh no, I called the wrong guy. Funny enough, I'm hanging up on you, Jimbo. I called you by mistake. Hey, don't get me wrong, I do care about you. But the rest of the Saipan, probably, they only want to hear from you later. But we're getting them all ringed up and good to go, and we're going to have him on here in just a second. You guys are going to be able to see him in a second, but I can actually hear him now, and you guys will too. We've got Landon Idlet on the show with us this morning because yesterday and the last couple of days have not been the driest. By the way, before we get started too, all you folks out there in public school land, you are going to school. There are classes as usual today. No matter what your parents, you're trying to trick them, it's not going to work. Parents, don't let your kids con you into thinking today they're off of school. No, there is school today. We got the message from PSS last night, and we got it out there to you guys as well. But just remember, there is school. And Jimbo, it wasn't a butt dial, man. I just pushed the wrong button. Jimbo Rayfan is not going to be our weather expert. When it comes to fish and raising kids, he's a good expert. But when it comes to weather, we got the man, the myth, the legend on the screen with us right now. Landon, welcome. And did you paddle to work today or did you drive?
Luckily, I was able to drive today. It's been much drier across Guam. We did have some heavy showers over southern Guam and northern Guam. Yesterday evening. It was otherwise not a bad day on Guam, but there were a lot of showers across Rota, and then later that boundary drifted northward toward Tinian, and then those heavy showers reached Saipan yesterday afternoon and evening. And so this is my trusty notepad of paper. It's a napkin from lunch yesterday with all my notes. But it's been a very interesting week. We had the large seas and the large surf, a lot of high waves and stuff across the region the last several days. It really started in Yap and Palau. I was in Palau all of last week, and the Marshall Islands the week prior. We had some very large waves come in with that shear line. Those are the strong winds that were along and north of that shear line boundary. That reached down to Palau and Yap with those large seas and surf, and then also across the CNMI. Then the weather came in. And so we saw that weather come in on Monday, I think Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday yesterday with some showers lingering across the CNMI today. I'm going to turn my camera around so you can see what I'm looking at. This is the current morning setup at the moment. Not a bad day to start out in Guam. It's fairly dry and a lot of sunshine this morning, but the showers still persist across the CNMI with the heaviest showers now just to the west. Let me swap over to the Doppler weather radar. This is showing those showers and thunderstorms primarily northwest of Rota, Tinian, and Saipan right there. The heaviest stuff is just offshore and to the northwest and starting to pass over Tinian and Saipan. Spotty in nature, but my concern is this heavier stuff may start building eastward back over the CNMI. So we're going to have to keep an eye to the sky across the CNMI today, because if these heavier showers build eastward, we could see more problems today. And so there are no flood advisories in effect at this time across the CNMI. but those bulletins, those are event driven. So if we start seeing the heavy showers develop and threaten any given island across the CNMI, that's when we'll have to issue those flood advisories. If things become significant enough with enough rainfall, that's when we upgrade to a flash flood warning. That means that flooding of businesses and homes is expected or occurring. So those are event-driven bulletins. Right now, there are no flood advisories in effect. If you go to our webpage, we're looking at the observations here, and you can't see that on the screen. So I'm going to go right over here. But the temperatures have been phenomenal across the CNMI. Yesterday, I think during the bout of the heavy showers, we were as cool as 72 degrees. That was around 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon. 72 degrees at the Saipan airport. That's remarkable for a daytime temperature. And that was after about 2.5 inches of rainfall fell yesterday. Monday, we had between 5 and 7 inches of rain over Saipan, and then another 2 to 4 inches of rainfall likely over Saipan yesterday. So it's been very wet. And again, the concern is if we have any of those heavy showers start to make their way over Rota, Tinian, or Saipan today, that additional rainfall, especially those heavier rainfall rates, could go quickly to runoff and ponding of water in roads, drainage areas, low-lying areas that are typical flood-prone during these rain events. So keep an eye to the sky today as we move forward over the next 24 hours.
Yeah, breaking news. We actually saw something other than a cloud this morning. We could see a little peek through of the sun. Not a whole lot of it, but just enough to remind us that there is a sky beyond the clouds. And the clouds weren't even up in the sky. We were in them yesterday. I mean, they were all around us. It was like we were sitting in a cloud.
Yeah, and that's the nature of these the weather events. Once you get the heavy showers and thunderstorms, there's that cloud that comes down nice and low, and it comes right over Mount Tapachao. And if you're high up in the elevations over Saipan and sometimes even Rota, it's going to be very foggy, very limited visibility. So I've circled Tinian and Saipan there as well as Rota, and I'm calling this a shear line plus because we typically have these shear lines, and it's right now draped right across between Rota and Tinian. But in these situations, we usually have the winds converging over a point, and they come together with strong winds on the north side of the boundary and lighter winds on the south side. But this one's a little bit different because those winds are instead coming up light and out of the south over Guam. I think there's a weak circulation somewhere in this vicinity. Looking at some of the overnight surface analysis, I think there's a weak circulation sitting just somewhere west of Rota and Tinian, and that convergence of low-level winds, that's enough of the impetus to bring us a little bit more dynamics with this shear line and the heavier rainfall and thunderstorms. So this is that wild card. It's a kind of a wet season pattern with a dry season or wintertime trigger, and it's a very complex weather event, which is why we're going to have to really play things almost hour by hour in this type of setup.
Yeah, yesterday we gave you a call, and we were just going south on Beach Road, looking off to the left, and we could see that just even the ridge line, like above like Garapan and Gualo Rai, was starting to get hit, and not by even rainage. You could just see that it was just a thick cloud base. You could almost barely make out the ridge line. And then the rain started coming down, and then as a sprinkle, and then we took a left to start going up by the college, and at that point, the skies had opened up, and we were in a cloud at that point. I mean, it was that low. It wasn't up at Tapachao. And when we got up there by the airport, we were driving all around. The grassy field was actually a lake, a temporary lake. We went down the hill by the international school, and that was flooded. There's a rushing river down the street at that point, too, in Aslito. And it just kept getting worse and worse, and we're already pretty saturated. Folks, we had trees that were going down because it wasn't even super gusty, but it was from all of the saturation.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. When you get the heavy rainfall, the saturated soils, and those gusty winds, and we saw those on Sunday, Monday, with winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour at the airport. And so it's probably much higher wind gusts higher up in the elevations, especially on the windward side of the mountains. But the rainfall for the year, it's been very wet up there in Saipan, as you know. 6.11 inches of rainfall on the 26th on Monday at the airport. Likely some higher amounts in some locations. and then probably another 3 to 4 inches across much of Saipan yesterday. But the rainfall for January so far this year, no surprise, much wetter than average. We're averaging about 5, almost 6 inches above normal for rainfall for Saipan this year already. So is that an indication of the year to come? Not so much. We are in a La Nina pattern that's starting to wane off right now. Usually with La Nina patterns, our dry season is wetter than normal in this region. So that's one of the factors we are looking at for enhanced rainfall through January, February, and March. And then we'll start that transition to instant neutral conditions by the summer.
Well, that's what we're hoping for, just a little bit of relief. It has definitely been crazy rainy. I didn't have to wash my van for the last couple of days, so I got that going for me, which is pretty nice. But we've got stuff all over the roads out here. Still some debris. Actually, the mayor's office and DPW, they were out there pushing stuff aside, getting stuff out of the way, making sure those drain covers were cleared. And boy, it was just something fierce. Yesterday was something that we'll be talking about for a while, how that thing all of a sudden hit us. But it looks like we're going to be good. I had someone tell me, he said, hey, if it doesn't stop raining in the next couple of days, I mean, I'm going to have to start looking at a new place. I'm going to have to move higher.
Yeah, and that's something to think about, because if you have routine problems with flooding waters, and we have that across southern Guam and other areas across the island, if you have a recurring problem with floodwaters, especially during heavy rainfall, maybe consider mitigation efforts, and it might even be something moving or building berms around your home if you're on a hill, how to direct that water flow away from your house and how to mitigate your flood vulnerabilities. And so there's a number of things that you should consider. But again, this is a dry season. Tropical rainfall is a part of our life here in the islands. We are in the tropics, and these rainfall rates, again, we can get 6 inches of rain in 24 hours. That'll cause some puddling and ponding of water, but if you get 6 inches of rain in 1 hour, those heavy rainfall rates is just too much for the ground to absorb. The water catchment systems and drainage systems just can't handle that volume of water. So keep that in mind for planning and mitigation efforts.
All right, well, that is good to know. I think all of our reservoirs are going to be full and overflowing for a while. Definitely a lot of surface water going to be in there. And we got all kinds of videos of kids being kids, having fun out there in those new lakes and ponds that all of a sudden have disappeared.
Yeah, definitely play it safe. I know I was once a kid many years ago, and there was nothing better than a huge mud puddle in the ditch or a flooded street, but make sure you're doing it safely. If there's any strong currents or water flow, avoid that altogether, because you can get swept off your feet and carried downstream to who knows what, especially if it's going under streets and underground. That's a big problem, a major hazard.
Well, it's a new free program. It's called Paddling in the Park. And their kids were out there doing it yesterday. We got some video from Tinian that was great. Also, kids at the schools sliding down the hill into the big puddle that was. And puddle is seems like an understatement for this. I mean, it was just pretty massive. And and you guys didn't get anything like what we got. It was just
we got off relatively easy on this event. So it's been much drier here. We've maybe some parts of Guam yesterday got upwards of 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, maybe 3 inches in southern or far northern Guam. But here at the airport, we've been hovering under an inch of rain for the last 2 or 3 days. So not that impressive here in central Guam, but different areas will get more rainfall. Looking forward to the next several days, it does dry out. Once this overall pattern breaks up and starts to dissipate, things will improve for the next couple of days. But we could see breezy conditions by Saturday and Sunday again as another shear line approaches late this week and into early next week. So keep an eye on weather forecast at weather.gov/GUM. And in the meantime, watch the sky conditions today. If the showers start to develop eastward, we could have more heavy shower potential later today. So keep that in the back of your mind as you go throughout the day today.
Yeah, I just brought some soap and shampoo with me so I can go stand outside and make the best of this freshwater rain. And don't worry, Saipan, I'll do it behind closed doors. You guys will be fine. All right. Well, thanks, Landon. Really appreciate all the updates, and then even the heads up on everything yesterday as well. And we'll look forward to hearing more from you. Hopefully everything starts to calm down and warm up again a little bit.
I don't want the heat, but calmer weather would be nice because who has time for weather?
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks so much. There's our man in Guam from the National Weather Service, Landon Idlet. Thanks so much for being here with us, and we look forward to hearing more from you soon.
Yep, have a great and safe rest of the week.
Will do. All right, there he is, and always keeping us up to date with everything that's happening with the weather in our part of the world, and thankful for that. So thanks so much to Landon and the team at the National Weather Service for keeping us going. All right, well, we do have some more updates. We got some news. We got some commercials we got to get to you, too. But first, let's get you a little bit of sports so you guys can get caught up with some fun stuff, too.
Fox Sports Update.
Shedeur Sanders in the NFL Pro Bowl games? I'm Jared Max. Who would have thought this would be a headline when the Cleveland Browns selected the former Colorado quarterback and son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders in the 5th round of last year's draft? The rookie quarterback earned the right to become a starter for 7 games this past regular season. He quarterbacked the Browns to a 3-4 record, and now Shedeur Sanders is set to participate in the NFL's Pro Bowl games next week ahead of Super Bowl 60. How was Sanders selected? The 144th pick in the NFL draft will replace Patriots quarterback Drake May, who's preparing for Super Bowl 60. Other AFC quarterbacks who would have been obvious fill-in choices for Drake May, Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, Daniel Jones, all suffered season-ending injuries. The Jaguars' Trevor Lawrence reportedly chose to not partake in the Pro Bowl games. No word what happened with the likes of Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, or Aaron Rodgers. Nonetheless, Shedeur Sanders named as a replacement for Drake May at the Pro Bowl games next Tuesday in San Francisco.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Coaching news, the Washington Commanders, who earlier this month fired Joe Witt as defensive coordinator, are finalizing a deal with Vikings defensive passing game coordinator Durante Jones to become Washington's defensive coordinator under head coach Dan Quinn. Jones had interviews with 5 NFL teams. He was born in suburban Washington, D.C.
Luka leans in. Jackson right back to Doncic. And he's got it. Luka rainbow finds the bottom of the net.
On Spectrum Sportsnet LA, Luka Doncic scored 46 points for the Lakers. LA got 24 from LeBron James in a 129-118 win over the Bulls in Chicago.
Mitchell to the rim. He scoops and scores. Mitchell now has 38.
On Peacock, 25th time this season, the Cavaliers' Donovan Mitchell scored at least 30 in a game, finished with 45 in the Cavaliers' 114-98 win over the Magic. You can listen to and follow the Fox Sports Podcast at foxsports.com or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jared Max.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
I'm Jessica Rosenthal. Today on the Fox News Rundown, we speak to a retired Minnesota fraud investigator as House Republicans tee up additional hearings to look at stolen taxpayer dollars in Minnesota and beyond. Go to foxnewspodcast.com to listen and follow.
Hey, bro, can I?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold Bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive Bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your Bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your Bush today.
Shiny smiles all around, where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. The chief federal judge in Minnesota says the Trump administration failed to comply with orders to hold hearings for detained immigrants. The judge ordered the head of ICE to appear before him Friday to explain why he shouldn't be held in contempt. President Trump has put border czar Tom Homan in charge in Minnesota after officers shot and killed ICU nurse Alex Preddy.
We're doing a big investigation. I want to see the investigation. I'm going to be watching over it. I want a very honorable and honest investigation. I have to see it myself.
Earlier, Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. The NTSB is holding a hearing on the deadly collision last year between an American Airlines jet and an Army helicopter near Washington, D.C.
Board member Todd Inman, in opening remarks, said to family members, "I'm sorry, we should not be here."
There is no singular person to blame for this. These were systemic issues across multiple organizations. And I think, as you'll see, we will place a lot of the information that you're going to hear on those responsible organizations and hopefully make recommendations so that this never happens again.
That's what Tim Lilly, whose son Sam died in the crash, wants.
What we're really looking for is action that can prevent any families from having to go through this.
The NTSB is recommending additional action. Whether that happens depends on Congress, the Army, and the Trump administration. I'm Julie Walker.
The NTSB is beginning investigations at a Maine airport where a business jet crashed during takeoff, killing all 6 people on board. TikTok has agreed to settle a landmark social media addiction lawsuit just before the trial kicked off. TikTok was accused of deliberately addicting and harming children, along with Meta's Instagram and Google's YouTube. Snapchat's parent company settled the case last week. The U.S. is sending an ICE unit to the Winter Olympics in Italy for security. This is AP News. It looks like another NFL coaching job has been filled.
The Buffalo Bills are promoting offensive coordinator Joe Brady to head coach. 2 people with knowledge of the decision tell the Associated Press. One of the people said Brady has agreed to a 5-year contract to take over a Josh Allen-led perennial winner that's accomplished everything short of reaching a Super Bowl. The 36-year-old just finished his 4th season in Buffalo and his 2nd full season as coordinator. Brady's promotion brings continuity to Buffalo a little over a week after Sean McDermott was fired following a 9-year tenure. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
A young mountain lion has been spotted roaming the streets of San Francisco. Authorities say the animal was located near Lafayette Park, where wildlife officials are trying to capture it safely. Neighbors have been warned about the sighting in Pacific Heights and were told to back away if they encounter the lion. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
If you see something, say something. and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun. With the waves crashing in, hear the ocean's call. Brad brings the news.
All right, good morning, Marianas. Welcome back. It is 8:08 here on Wednesday morning, January 28th. It's a beautiful day. By the way, you know, I figured it out. It was 23 years ago today, to the day. We're 24 because this starts the 24th year. But that I came to Saipan. I can't believe it. It was the Super Bowl between the Raiders and the Buccaneers. It was so long ago. But that I missed that because that was happening while I was traveling from the mainland to here. And it's so cool to realize that I've been here for this long. But because I've had the opportunity to learn a lot more about the culture and the people here, and I've clearly eaten a lot of the food here, but it's been just such a wonderful thing. And because of that, I'm able to do great things like what we've got this morning. We've got a couple of great guests in here to talk about some of the culture and perpetuating it here. So I am so happy to have you both, Manny Borja and Francis Sablan, in studio with us. Thank you so much for being here with us.
You too, Brad. Thank you for
also.
good morning, Marianas.
Well, I know our viewership's going to go through the roof because you're both in here today. I mean, once they see you on camera, I mean, forget it. It's going to be great.
Okay.
But I got a message about this new book that you have, and I'm like, no way. It's just absolutely incredible. I would love to have you talk about this. There's songs in here. There's all kinds of stuff. And I don't know all the great stuff about it, but that's why you guys are here. You can tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. And I'll let Manny start it.
Okay, yes. So our new book is called Cantan Samurita, Giza Marianas, Cantan Samurita in the Northern Marianas. It's a book of the traditional Chamorro art form of Cantan Samurita in the Mariana Islands. Now, some people may think that any Chamorro song or any song that's sung in Chamorro is a Cantan Samurita, but here we're talking about a technical technical meaning of the Cantan Samurita, because with the Cantan Samurita, it is an old Chamorro art form, and it follows a form, and the form is, if we put the lines of the song, of the verse, in two, then the ending words rhyme. If we put the lines of the verse into four lines, then the second line, the end of the second line, and the end of the fourth line rhymes. And so that's the form. And we have about 10 different melodies, and any verse can fit into any of these melodies because it conforms to the form.
Well, I got turned my volume up. That's why I turned my volume down, just so everyone could hear you better. So, can you tell us something? Now, you've done this, but what was the reason why what inspired you to create this?
Yes, very good question. The Carolinian community has a lot of art alive in their culture. The Chamorro community has lost a lot of art in the Chamorro culture. And when we found out that this Canton Samarita is an ancient Chamorro art form, that actually then, gave us the enthusiasm to know more about it. And so it is like a dying art, but we want to revive it back.
Well, it's great. We're going to show some folks what it looks like here. This is the book. By the way, is this something that's available where people can just pick it up anywhere? Is it at the library? Is it at the bookstores?
Francis?
We're going to have our Canton Samarita launch this Friday. And so that would be an opportunity for our community to come over to the Joten Kizu Public Library from 5 to 7 so that they can avail of this newly published book that the Inetnun Kultura Nativo Marianas, Koor Aramasal Marianas organization has sponsored. But of course, the funding source, Manny, came from the Administration for Native American many moons ago, and it took a while for Manny and for Senora Carmen Song Taimanyao, who is the co-author of this beautiful book, to really go out. And it wasn't just Saipan, Rhoda, and Tinian that they went out to collect information and samples, but also Guam. So, as Manny mentioned, it is the Canton Samarita Giza Marianas. So although we kind of emphasize the Northern Marianas, we also include the Southern Marianas, which is Guam.
Wow, that's amazing. And, it's great that we're able to have something like this, and even that there's grants available for things like this, so we're able to keep this alive. I love the artwork, too. Who did the artwork in the front?
I did.
Whoa.
You like it? And it's, for those who are able to see it, it's actually meant to also... Oh, look at the rainbow outside.
Yes, oh, perfect.
So we have the real rainbow and that one, the double rainbow there. But it could be interpreted in many different ways, like the bird there on the side of the rainbow. It could be a bird, or it could be a young coconut tree, or it could be a fountain, it is for one's imagination to whatever meaning one can get out of it. And in our modern day now, we have all this AI and all these technologies in the computer that you can make perfect circles and perfect stars. And so because that's the case, we wanted to do kind of the opposite and do something that is more kind of like more natural, and to show. So here the circles are not perfect and all of those, but it's very natural.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's great, and there's an opportunity for folks to get it themselves. It's this Friday over at the Joten Kizu Public Library. Special launch price. Well, normally it's $30, but you have a special price of $25.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. And so that's going to be from 5 to 7 this Friday at Joten Kizu Public Library. You can get down there.
Yeah.
Can they get it signed by you also if they come down there?
Yes, of course. And it would have been really much more perfect if the co-author Carmen Taimanyao would be there too. But she's in the States, and so it would be just one author here doing it, if that's okay for them. But but yeah, sure, the signing will be there too.
Well, great. Well, at least that's a start. We can get at least one of you guys in there, and it would be wonderful. Anyway, it looks great. And this is not a small book by any means. 383 pages.
383 pages. More than 600 verses that are old, dating back since 1924, as early, and then 100 more. So altogether, about 700 verses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. And looking at the information that you guys had here, it was like dates back to like 1924. 100 of them never published.
Yes, that's correct. 100 of them never published because there are few that wrote new verses just for the book.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. This is such a massive undertaking. How long did it take? Like, when did you start putting this together?
Yes, we started in 2011. Most of the people that we interviewed, most of the interview took place between 2011 and 2013. But as the saying goes, in terms of wine, the older the wine, the better it is. So the longer this book took place, the better, because then we were able to put in information that we were able to, to know and meet up to 2024. So this is really a nice book.
Well, go ahead.
And it was a process, and that's why it took so long, because there were so many parts to it, so many facets. It wasn't just researching and just kind of reliving the old ways, but as Manny mentioned, a lot of the interviewees gave very important information in terms of their family history and just the history of the songs and the verses themselves.
Well, it's got to be much more meaningful too. I mean, it's a labor of love. That's like 13 years of work,
yes.
To compile all this stuff.
Yes, and I think we would like to share too that that in our lives nowadays, sometimes we lack the what shall we say, laughter. We become very serious with our day-to-day lives, but these songs, and unfortunately, the songs are in Chamorro, and the verses are in Chamorro, and we weren't able to translate them because it's hard to translate a poem into another language and maintain the structure of the poem. And in Cantan Samarita, many times the ending is the punchline, and it causes people to laugh, And so this book, we hope, which I think I'm sure will happen, will make people laugh. They can just open any page and read some of the verses, and it will tickle them. And it is good, because laughter is it's a medicine. And in Chamorro, in English, we have the word laugh and smile. In Chamorro, we have one word for both, laugh and smile. So even if you don't laugh out loud, when you read this, you will smile, and that also is medicinal, laughing and smiling.
Being here, I picked up some words and phrases, and I know through context I can, follow some of that stuff. But so many times, just like what you're saying, you mentioned that you can't always translate or you lose the structure of it. But some jokes don't have the same meaning, or some insults don't have the same meaning unless you know the full context. Yeah. So I think things like this will also maybe, hopefully, help inspire people to re-dive into their attempt of learning the language and getting a better appreciation for the language itself too.
That's correct. Yes. It is very good, to know when you're anywhere, to know some words of the people there, and definitely. And so right now we are very fortunate to have a lot on online learning Chamorro, but For me, I think also learning songs in Chamorro help for people to practice the language.
That's a gateway for a lot of people to learn the songs first. That you get to learn how to pronounce the words. I know how to sing songs in different languages that I don't know what they mean necessarily, but I know how to pronounce some of that stuff. So it's helped me to learn other parts of the language.
Exactly.
One of the methodologies that the Chamorro bilingual program implemented back in 1998 to the year 2000 was using song and dance to reinforce the language. And I know that all too well because I was part of that program. And so every school in the Northern Marianas was, went through that program that taught Chamorro. And so I was able to gallivant around the Northern Marianas just by teaching song and dance. And but like you say, the songs reinforce the language. And especially with our generation that's coming up, and even our generation, we tend to relate to songs better, and like you say, learn, at least the gist of what the song is about by singing it ourselves. So, it is important.
Yeah, I feel like I miss out on some of the best jokes because of that, or even some just of the deeper meaning of a lot of things, just because of that, of the language. And I can't wait to start looking into this. What would you say would be like something that like a new learner or a new reader would probably, where's a good place to start?
Yes, I think in general, for all, either speakers of Chamorro or not, just start with the English section, because this book has it's written in two languages, Chamorro and English. Just start with the English section too, because they will then also be able to read the stories, because in this book we interviewed people, especially elder people. We went to the senior centers on Guam and Rhoda and Tinian and Saipan, and some of them remembered, situations when they first heard it, or some of them even participated. In the past, at the Manamka centers, Guam, Tinian, Rhoda, Saipan, they were all doing this.
Really?
Yes. An example would be like on Rhoda, this lady would be walking down, because at one time the Manamka Center was near the beach on Rhoda by the church. Now it's up farther away. But a lady would be walking down, and before coming to the Manamka Center would start singing. And then someone from in the Manamka Center will also respond back. And then when she gets inside, everybody sings.
Wow.
Because there are some verses that people remember and they would sing, and that is done. They did in the 1980s. They recorded the Tinian elders, and they spent, a good maybe an hour recording them, because they would just sing and sing and sing. And yeah. One thing about the Canton Semerita too is that it helps people to, I'll tell you a story. It happened not too far away from where we are. Those days when they had novenas, for example, they noticed who would come to the novena, and then at the end of the novena, they would give these families food, either they
like rations, no?
Right? Yeah, they could, a cow or a pig or chicken, like that. And so in this particular day, it was after the novena, and they were preparing the giveaways, yeah. And so the mother of the family, directed the people what to do, and everything was said, and then the father came and redirected, and so the mother wasn't too happy about that. But what she did was she went to her room, composed the Canton Semerita, and went back, sang to the husband, using some, humor, and the husband responds back, and everyone was laughing. So it is a very good way of conflict resolution.
Diffusing.
Yeah, instead of saying, why did you do that? Or something. it was through song and through laughter, and they resolved that thing. Yeah.
So the Contentamorita is really spontaneous. It reminds me of the rap today.
Yeah, exactly.
Where, you just go ahead and spill out whatever. It's almost, whatever you have in your mind or whatever you're feeling, but in rhyme. And so basically that's what I equate the Contentamorita to, is a modern day rap.
Exactly, and if I may add, that the ancients were rapping before people rap now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
Yes.
And the style is, you start off by tossing your words just like rap. But then when you start becoming fierce, they start throwing their words. And that's basically what it evolves to. We have the adzotti, the tossing of the words. And then eventually it evolves to adagaw, which is throwing of the words. And I want to say, my grandfather was he was well known for the Contentamorita, and so of course he'll get a little tipsy when he's with the boys, and so they'll do the tossing, and then pretty soon the throwing, and then he comes home with the shiner. So that was evidence that it can get a little bit dramatic.
I like it, and I imagine there's an art form to it too. Like, you don't want to be the one who throws it too fast. You got to start with the tossing before
gentle.
Yes,
and then it works up. My brother on the other side, where we don't have the singing, when we're playfully tossing insults back and forth, if somebody gets a little bit too deep, it's like, he does that nuclear one first. I can't do it. He goes right for the throwing. I'm like, oh man, now we're here. We got to start here. Here we go. But this is great. I absolutely love it. So now you said it is written in English and in Chamorro, but is it like a side-by-side, or is there like the front part is Chamorro, the back part is?
The front part is Chamorro, and the last section is in English. And to kind of balance things, because the English section does not include translations of the verses, that's absent in the English section. We have in the English section something that's absent in the Chamorro section, which is the research and development articles that's there. So reading the book, one would have a picture of the culture, especially the older time, and also learn more about the history of the singing, because we haven't really gotten down to exactly pinpoint where did it all start. It seems like it's in the end, or in the Spanish time, it's a combination of using some of the poetic knowledge that people use to having some kind of influence, other style of singing, things like that. But I think many indigenous cultures share a similar kind of chanting and things like that. So what we have now is actually very clear. The form, 8 syllables per line, 4 lines in the rhyme. But I said that there is no English verse, but here's one though that is written in English.
Wow.
And it's the only one. It says, sing your song, Chamorita. Sing your song when you're blue. Express yourself in Chamorita. Chamorita means I love you. And to sing this in different verses, different melody, it could be, sing your song, Chamorita. Sing your song when you're blue. Express yourself in Chamorita. Chamorita means I love you. Or another melody would be, sing your song, Chamorita. Sing your song when you're blue. Express yourself in Chamorita. Chamorita means I love you. Things like that.
I love it. This is just great. This is a great book for anybody from here. This could be great. And by the way, we're just past the holidays. This would have been a great gift for folks for the holidays. I would love to give someone this for Christmas.
Very true.
It's all right. Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
but still, in terms of time, you can still give your Christmas gift now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. If we give our Christmas gifts on island time, we are totally fine. No, Manny, I haven't had the pleasure of getting to know you before and everything. Could give us a little bit of your background, like what led you to this, you're born and raised here in Saipan.
I was born and raised here in Saipan in Susupi. We had a farm up in Steo. My father died when I was 11 years old, fourth grade. So I started working and my cousins when I was 6th grade, all the way to graduation from high school, and then I went to the States. I was lucky to, at that time it was trust territory time. I was lucky to receive a scholarship to go abroad and study. But then I came back and I realized that the knowledge that I got in school, were great and all of that, but I lacked knowledge of my own people, culture. So then I became more interested in this, so that I kind of put a lot of effort now to do that, to learn more about myself and the culture. Yeah.
That's fascinating. I mean, that's why it's so great to be able to reconnect with your culture and the roots. I've met people because of the pandemic. Funny enough, I was in a remote virtual learning Chamorro class, and so I got to meet people from all over the states who had never been here, but they have families from here, so they were doing because they wanted to learn the language.
The diasporas.
Yes. And it was really looking at it through a different lens. I wanted to do it because I wanted to have a closer connection to the people from here, and so did they. But they have a real touch for it. You actually came back after going out and going to school, and now you're helping other folks. Both of you are helping other folks, remember what the culture is. Not that they had forgotten, but for some, it's just learning it in the first place. What a gift that is on its own.
Brad, I wanted to add, Manny didn't just co-author this particular book. This is his third book. Second that I believe he co-authored, but the first one that he co-authored with Joe Aropo was our traditional, it's a directory of traditional healers and medicinal plants. That was produced, before the Content Chamarita, even was thought about and the works was on it. And that was done back more than 15 years ago. Again, it was funded through the Administration for Native Americans for the same organization, although we had a more simple name other than the IKNM, KAM. Organization, but it was the same. We call it the AMUT, the medicinal organization, and that's what it started off as. And so that was one of the books that Manny co-authored with the late Joe Ropo, and then he has his own book called
Estrellas Marianas.
Which is the stars, and that you co-authored it with your brother, right?
My brother
with
Sandy, yeah.
Yes, so I guess there are 3 books that he co-authored.
Wow.
Yes.
So, by the way, you're talking about a directory of healers and cirujanos?
Yes.
All I know is that there's so much about that I don't know. But, Ana Lafette, she was, Ana Lee Villagomez, she was talking about some of the stuff that she makes and talk about hey, this is dangerous stuff. You got to be careful with this. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yes, true. There are reservations for home remedies, and even with the pharmaceutical drugs, right? That's out there. We have to be careful because one may be really the intention is to heal, but if you take too much of it, it would be poison. So that's true with even our natural remedies. You need to know what you are taking and what are the ingredients, because you may be allergic to one of the ingredients. So in that particular book, which would be another episode, really focuses on the healers. And showing the plants, but not necessarily giving remedies, because that, like you say, can be very potent.
Oh yeah, but she didn't mean it in that kind of way.
Yeah, okay.
She meant like, ooh, this is gonna make someone fall in love with you, or that kind of stuff.
Like a love potion.
Yes, all kinds of stuff like that. Not a bad danger, but it could be a bad danger depending on.
Sorry, I kind of misinterpret that particular.
See, if I knew how to say it in Chamorro, it would probably be a lot better. This is such a wonderful gift to the community, just that you took the time to share this. And are your other books available? Are we able to still find them? Are they at the library? Do we find them at the stores?
Yes, in terms of the Estrellas Marianas, they can find it online. They can download it, and at the
Is it Amazon?
culturanativo.org. It's there.
Oh, the Natibon. Did you put it in the Inetnun's?
Yeah,
we have a website for our organization that you can find a lot of these information, and that's the natibonmarianas.org.
Okay.
And that's for the IKNM organization.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the directory of traditional healers and medicinal plants. Jotenkizu Public Library does have more copies there. We have them in 2 and 3 languages. So depending on who the readers are, whether they want just the Chamorro and the English, which is a 2 language, or if they would like to have the 3 official languages, which includes the Carolinian. So Joten Kizu Public Library has that. HPO also, the Historic Preservation Office, they are one of our consignees, along with Haza Foundation down in Guam. And Joten Enterprise in Susupi has them. That's where it's basically housed. And so we do have places that do sell the medicinal plants book. But in terms of the content Chamarita, we won't make them available, especially to Joten Kizu Public Library and Joten, and whoever else would like to help us sell them.
That's great. We're showing people. Oh, sorry, Dispensa.
Oh, yeah. Also, since people are listening now, for those who are listening, and if you have helped in any way about the book, we have a long list. We have 2 pages of people and organizations that they are having. We're giving them their courtesy copy, and so if you were one of the interviewees or remember that you did something helping with the book, come to the launching and you will receive your courtesy copy.
Yes.
And if you don't come, we'll try to find you, but it's better if you are there so that you can pick it up right away.
We've got a couple of comments came in. Ann Attow said, most Manamco that we have today grew up in the 70s, 80s, and some of them speak less Chamorro than the generation before them. Oh, that would be pretty sad. And then one of them, like my age, Tobat's he's like, yeah, like me, but I could fully understand anything you say, no matter how deep you speak. By the way, the deep speak like that. Whoa, so I'm not familiar with all of it, but I can hear it from people when they tell me about it and saying, ooh, what that person just said was like the deepest, like kind of Chamorro comment. Yeah. What is that? Can you put that in better context, like to help me understand something like that, like some of the deeper meaning stuff? Does it mean it's like older stuff that people just don't use anymore? Is that kind of it?
Yes. The Eziman Todung na Finut Chamorro ni. You know, that's what Brad is referring to, is the deep words. A lot of them are older traditional words that were used, and so generally speaking, they're referred to as the deeper Chamorro. The ones that are hardly used, not frequently. Some of them, like you say, maybe have deeper meanings. And one thing that the elders love to do, even up until today, is what we call the kantan, or the storengualofun, which means literally the stories of the moon, the full moon, where you go into the adult content, and so the content tamaritas, some of them do have the adult content, but I think Manny was kind of careful not to put all of that in here. But so there are different versions, and like you say, the deep, the todung na finutamoru are the deeper ones that are relating more to yesteryears. The ones that are not frequently used anymore. Is that your take, Manny, in terms of the todung na finutamoru?
Yes, there are those, and there are also those words that are ambiguous, and that it would be whatever the listener want to find the meaning out of that
the
one.
Connotations, the different connotations.
But I didn't quite understand the comment you mentioned. What was it? That it's hard to understand?
That's what he was saying. So Ann was saying, most of the people who grew up in the 70s and 80s, kids like my age or a little bit older, said that they don't. Some of them speak a lot less Chamorro than the generation before them. And Tobat was saying, he's like, yeah, but just like him, but he can fully understand anything, no matter how deep you speak.
So that means that he's been around the elders to be exposed to the deep ones.
Yeah, and so for me, I would suggest that in situations like that, not to hold back when you have a question to ask the elders. What do you really mean by that? Things like that to communicate, because sometimes when people speak, they may not be aware that not all of the words that one uses is understood the way that the speaker understands it.
Growing up here, and I imagine, when you guys were younger, you got to hear that language way more often. And how does that feel? I mean, to see so many people who don't use it as much. Is it something that you feel like you try to lead a conversation to get them to start sharing with you? Or do you just try? I don't know what you would do, because this is the only language I grew up with, so I don't have there's nothing for me to feel like I'm not losing something, right? But for here, hearing some of the local folks, or people my age, or even the younger kids right now, if you don't hear them speaking in Chamorro, how do you what's the way to lead them in to try to bring that back?
Like you mentioned earlier, Brad, songs, the music. But with me, as a retired educator along with Manny, when I talk to the younger generation, like your other listener, si Toby, when Tobias, is it?
Tobat,
where he said that he understands, but he can't necessarily speak. I mean, I'm kind of reading beyond what he was saying, but a lot of the younger generations, they cannot speak. Like me, back in the early 70s, even up until the late 70s, I could not converse fully in Chamorro.
Wow.
And that's because I was born and raised in Guam, and my upbringing was on my nuclear family. They spoke Chamorro, but in the community was all English. So therefore, I spoke mostly English. But it was coming here, moving to the Northern Marianas, marrying a Saipanese, that I was able to immerse myself into the language and practice it. But it was a process. And I'm pretty sure the elders, if they were to think back of how I spoke Chamorro back then, they probably would chuckle and laugh out loud right now. But they contain themselves, I guess, to it was to give me my dignity that I was trying. And so I encourage our younger generation, even our generation now, to start texting, start writing in Chamorro, because a lot of our students learn how to read, write, and speak, a Chamorro. And so they need to practice all of those elements in order to be versed. And that's what I had to do. But I encourage them to, at least, if they understand, they practice by writing and to be more proficient in that part. And so that's my methodology, and that's what I encourage. And as a matter of fact, my two children, when I was into the writing mode, I would write to them in Chamorro, and my son loved it because he was deployed, and that was his secret language, between him and myself, and he would share it with his Chamorro buddies, and they love it. But my daughter would go, "Mom, can you please write it in English, because I'm having the darnest time reading this," because it took her longer, but that was all part of the practice. I equate it to, I used to have, my tongue was all twisted and tied and tangled, but as I became more proficient and started practicing more, I was releasing those tangles, and now I can speak Chamorro more fluently. Of course, not perfect, not 100%, but maybe 99.9%.
Yeah, what you mentioned earlier, also, Brad, it is true nowadays. We are looking at a real change, because when I was growing up, my parents did not speak English.
Wow.
And everybody was speaking Chamorro when I was growing up. It was only until after, let's say, my youngest brother's generation, because in his family, his older children spoke Chamorro, but the youngest one, because the older children who spoke Chamorro also know English, would speak English to the youngest one, and starting from there, then that kind of first knowledge of Chamorro is not there anymore. But every language has its own value, and so I find that it is very helpful that everyone speaks English now, no, because we can understand each other. But to also recognize that there is value in understanding and knowing that there is value in every language. In Chamorro, for example, because we live in we live, let's say, growing up with the coconut trees, huh? Mm-hmm. So we have a word for, like, in terms of the nut, when it's first out, like datik, then it's becoming bigger, then it's upluk, then the nut has
the
some
different stages.
Yeah, it has some meat inside. We have a manha, and then if you can listen to it, you hold it. So it has different names. So when you say this, you already know what stage of the coconut that is. But in English, it's all coconut. And so there is that part that the language contributes to your environment, and knowing that, helps with understanding the environment too.
You talk about getting your tongue all tangled and twisted. It took me forever to be able to, even mentally, I couldn't figure out how to say matsutsotsu, because there's so many things to put in there. It took me I was sitting there trying to do it over and over and over again. I'm like, how can I tell people what I do? It was the hardest time.
But practice makes perfect, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eventually you're able to say it.
Oh yeah, so that was part of my my presentation. Well, now I could say Guahusi Brad Rosala, Ginin Saipan Isla, Matsutsotsu Pari Enamai News Service. Okay, that's as much as I got. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So,
nice, bonito.
Oh, thank you.
But one thing nice about our language is when you really want to emphasize, you say bonito, and you put in a lot of the syllables there, so and the emphasis on, like what Manny was saying, you can be very descriptive and very explicit, with the words that we use. And speaking of language, our organization, the Netnun Cultura Nativo Marianas, Ko'ore Aramasal Marianas, that website that I mentioned, the nativoandmarianas.org, not only focuses on our culture, but a lot on our language. And so Dr. Elizabeth Rehebe, with our webmaster Ricky Sanchez, has put together, along with the help of Dr. Sandy Chong and of course Manny, because of the dictionary group that has been working on our Chamorro dictionary. We have a lot of words in there that are Chamorro that we're going through the process of kind of vetting, because although we do have sources from our elders in our community and our experts, we do want to test it out in the community in terms of having the words out on the website and having our viewers, our readers, look at them and then kind of give their comments. What is their experience with that word? Where did they learn it from? So we want to bring those words to life.
Yeah, and if I may add about the language, because we have borrowed or loaned a lot of words during the Spanish time from Spanish. And so for some people, they may think that the Chamorro language is maybe 60% Spanish and things like that. That is true in terms of the words in the language, Chamorro language, but the Chamorro language remains 100% Chamorro. Why? Because the grammar, the Chamorro grammar is 100% Chamorro, not Spanish. Let's take the word like snow. It's an English word, no? So if in Chamorro we may say snonno, which means it is snowing. But when you say snonno in English, they'll say, what is that? And why can we do that? Because the grammar allows you to do that. So once a word becomes, let's say an English word comes into Chamorro language, it then becomes a Chamorro word, where you can then say snonno or somononno, things like that.
Love it. So the website we've had on the screen, natibunmarianas.org, Inetnun Kuturan Natibun Marianas, or Kor Amasal Marianas.
Yes, that's the one I've been repeating.
Yes, over and over. And so I had to try practicing. I had to try saying it.
Yes.
Nice. So this is great. You guys can find it really easily. That's a great one, Aneta said, hey, we should have more cartoons in Chamorro and Carolina.
That's right.
And some interactive PC games, like computer games and all that.
Yes, that'd be good.
And the experts for those recommendations, we'd like to include them, in that project, because there's a lot of things that we can do that can help our community, and those suggestions are great. We just need to get them involved. Don't just suggest, but be part of it.
Yeah, and another thing is, like when you're driving on the road, there's some road names that are in Chamorro. Try to know what they mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just had this conversation with one of my good friends here, a local guy, Chamorro, who lives up in Finisisu, and he's like, man, I don't know who Salam Pali Arnold is. I don't know who Salam Monsignor Guerrero. I'm like, all right, well, I don't know. He said he's been asking around trying to find out like who they are. He's like, I don't know who they are. Yes. Well, first of all, since you're here, do you know who they are?
Yes.
You do. Listen, there you go.
Father Arnold was one of my teachers in high school, and one of the things that I remembered from what he said, wisdom-wise, he said that it is not that important to know everything. It is more important to know where to find. Like in terms of question, it's not that important to know the answers to all the questions. It's more important to know where to find your answer.
The references
and so
the
resources. Yeah, after the war, was kind of like for practical purposes, the administrator of the island. Because, he eventually learned how to speak the Chamorro language, and people trust him. And so government officials would seek his assistance, to do this and that. For example, when this one lady from Saipan went to San Mateo, California, and she was talking about her experience seeing Amelia Earhart, and then the CBS News in San Francisco read the paper, sent some people over to do research on that. It was Father Arno who took the researcher to go to homes to ask them what the interviewer wanted to know, to translate back into English, what the people said. So Father Arno was very well known. He was kind of like the counselor in general for the people. And at that time, too, people were all Catholic. And so, they look up to priests. And San Pauliano, Father Arne Bendowski, he passed away, but he later went back to Wisconsin. He was a Capuchin, went there and passed away there, but he was very well known in Saipan, Pauliano, yeah.
Wow, this is a great history lesson. I love this. Let's see if we can push our luck. So Monsignor Martinez.
Martinez is from Guam, and he stayed here also for the longest time. And the same thing, he affected people's lives, and they wanted to honor him, and that's why they named one of the roads in his honor. Yeah.
But the one that was named here is the Monsignor Guerrero.
So the one up in Azlito, it's all Monsignor Martinez.
True.
Yeah. So that I was gonna go for that one. That was the next one. I would say let's see if we can go for all three. If we can find out about Saul Monsignor Guerrero.
Monsignor Guerrero was the first Chamorro priest from Saipan, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's of the Butik family.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, the Guerrero and the Butik family, yeah.
So there you go. I'm not going to mention your name who told me you didn't know it, even though you're from here. But you need to get to know your Bodigs. That's a Familia Bodig is honored by that road. That's so great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And if it wasn't for this book that you wrote, we never would have had this conversation maybe.
Yeah, it's all meant and beautiful. Thank you for having us, and keep doing what you're doing. It's very helpful, very nice, and you're very good, so God bless you.
Thank you, and I hope we can get you to come back another time, talk about anything that you have going on. This was just great.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I have the coffee ready for you by the time you walk in the door next time.
Yes, the other topic that Manny mentioned was Amelia Earhart. That would be another topic that we'd love to come in and speak about. Yeah.
Please, let's do this. All right, breaking news, they're coming back. We're going to talk about Amelia Earhart and if she wrote any of these songs. All right, well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we're going to take a break. We come back, we'll get more. Let me just get in the comment real quick. Let's see.
Please.
It says, good morning, everyone. This is from Mike. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Manny Borja taught psychology at Mount Carmel School. That was a class that helped me through life. Thank you, Mr. Borja.
Nice.
Definitely getting a book. And
bless you.
And then they were also talking about the music, saying he was born in 1970, and he's happy that he was raised both by his grandmothers on both sides. Proud of my language. I love conversing with my elders, and I still ask them to explain the meanings of those deep words.
Nice.
So, thank you. All right, now we're really going to go, and we'll be back. I'm looking forward to having both of you come back sometime and talk about Amelia Earhart. We'll see if we can't schedule that. All right, folks, we're not going anywhere, but we are going to take a real quick break. After the commercials, we're going to have our new news updates, and we still are going to be having the mayor of Tinian is going to be with us here remote from Tinian, so you'll hear about Pika Fest and more after this.
Hey, bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold Bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive Bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your Bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your Bush today.
Shiny smiles all around, where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with
Fox Sports Update.
The Hawks and Pacers had an early tip on Monday due to a winter storm gripping the south and northeast. The Hawks beat the Pacers 132-116 in Atlanta, with Dyson Daniels scoring 22 points, including this first quarter jam.
New backup 5. CJ McCollum's in the game. Dyson Daniels winds up and throws it down.
That was courtesy of the FanDuel Sports Network, as Atlanta has now won 3 straight, while Indiana fell back down to earth after beating the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder on Friday. Staying in the NBA, Bucks star Giannis Antetokounmpo could be out a while. Giannis suffered a calf strain in a loss to the Nuggets Friday night, and head coach Doc Rivers offered no timetable for his return on Monday.
MRI has revealed exactly what we thought. There's no timetable, calf strain, and really no timetable for return. Hopefully, like it was before, sooner.
I'm Jessica Rosenthal. Today on the Fox News Rundown, we speak to a retired Minnesota fraud investigator as House Republicans tee up additional hearings to look at stolen taxpayer dollars in Minnesota and beyond. Go to foxnewspodcast.com to listen and follow.
Sound courtesy of the Bucks, as Giannis missed 8 games in December with a right calf strain. Milwaukee and the 2-time MVP face an uncertain future together, with Antetokounmpo continuing to be mentioned as a potential trade target. Heading over to the NFL, Phillip Rivers won't be roaming the sidelines in Buffalo next season. According to multiple reports, Rivers has withdrawn from the Bills' coaching search after interviewing for the job on Friday. Rivers, who has never coached at the college or professional level, has had an interesting couple of months. He came out of retirement in December after being away from the game for 5 years to join the quarterback-needy Colts. Indianapolis called the 44-year-old after starting QB Daniel Jones suffered a season-ending injury, and Rivers went on to start 3 games for the Colts, losing all 3. The Bills are looking to replace Sean McDermott after he was fired following 9 years as head coach in Buffalo. You can listen and follow the Fox Sports Podcast at foxsports.com or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Joe Morgan.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days. Rhythm and soul in so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes all around, everything feels right. Brad on the show, bringing joy to our day. Into the Marianas breeze, let the worries drift away. Yeah, that was the air. Our connection grows stronger. We show that we care. Rock on, feel the soulful flow. Look right on in Mariana, that's where you belong. The sweet island breeze and the ocean's embrace. Brad's got the stories, sunlight repays. Southside meditated, fall in this ride. Yeah, we're shining with love as our guide. So raise your voices high, let the music play on. Good morning, Marianas, we're where you belong. Amos Kitchen, so delicious. I need a burger.
It might not be lunchtime, but I'm thinking about it. Oh my God, Ina's Kitchen. What is the special today? I don't know, but I know it's going to be good. Every day I know it's going to be good. Friday is definitely the favorite now. It has pulled ahead, just inching ahead of the other lunch specials. But for $8.50, what you're getting over there at Ina's Kitchen, you cannot beat it. That's not to say you shouldn't get yourself a great burger or anything, or on these rainy days, get some of that corn chowder, which is incredible. I'm such a fan of Ina's Kitchen. I love it, and I can't wait to get some. That soup today sounds amazing. By the way, we took a little extended break. We don't have a new news update. I'm really surprised by that. We keep getting the old one. So what I ended up doing, I hit you up with the latest sports anyway, and the big deal is that I could not stop talking to Manny Borja and Francis Sablon. It is lovely. We came up with stuff for like 3 more shows. Just after we went off and took the break, it was such a great conversation. I can't wait to have more conversations. So what were we talking about? I'm like, oh, the difference between like Jesus Mossy and Saina Mossy, and listening to them explain it, and when talk about the orthography, all that. We could talk about so much more. We were talking about the spelling for Zeus, and Jesus Mossy and all that. We have the makings of a whole nother episode. I can't wait to have them come back on. I'm also so thankful. They gave me a copy of the book. This is so great. And he signed it too. Manny signed it right there. So thank you. There we go. So thank you so much for coming in and giving us this gift. I mean, the gift of your time was wonderful, and then to hear, to share the conversation was great. Who gets to do this? I got the best job in the world. So wow, I look forward to having them come back on to talk about Amelia Earhart. That's one thing that they definitely want to come back to talk about. I'm excited about that, but also like just more Finu tomorrow. Like I'm in. I love the talking about some of these things. I wanted to ask them more questions about it, but we got to go over. We got to hear real quick. Salam Pale Arnold. Who's it named after? Solomon Senior Guerrero. Got it. Solomon Senior Martinez. Got it. You get all your questions answered here on Good Morning Marianas. Who knew we were going to talk about the folks who the roads were named after, get a little history lesson. And boy, this was just a little dip in the toe into the waters of what I hope can be really great. I love the idea of having a regular session where we just talk about the language a little bit. It's not necessarily even a class, but it becomes a class and it's entertaining. I hope you find it entertaining, but having them in here is really outstanding. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Well, we do have stuff going on in about 30 minutes from now. That's right. We are in overtime right now. But in about 30 minutes, we're going to have the mayor from Tinian join us, and he's going to be talking about what's going on next month. We're just a couple days away from February, but we're going to hear all about Pika Fest in Tinian. I'm excited about that. It is the most delicious festival. I know. We have Taste of the Marianas. That is great. I do love Taste of the Marianas. I love everybody going all out here in Saipan, the booths, you name it. But there's something about Pika Fest that is just the best. I love Pika Fest. They have a umang race. Do we have an umang race? No? Well, then come back when you got an umang race. Umang race is awesome. I mean, and for those of you guys, you don't know umang, that's the hermit crab. They have a umang racetrack and people train these things. This is not just stroll down the beach, pick up a random umang. No, these guys, they don't paint the shells with numbers, but that would be kind of cooler if they did. Also, how dare you paint that shell? Okay, I got it. But the Pika Fest is great, and we're looking forward to seeing all that. Oh, man, one of the things that we got, by the way, I want to say thanks to our viewers for sending us stuff. We got a lot of footage. Last night, it was too late to get all of it down to you. But we got a bunch of stuff from that fire that happened last night. I don't know if you guys saw it, but as we were doing the welcoming, for the folks who were here for the Industry Day for the Small Business Development Center Network, there was a fire that happened behind Twins Mart last night. Yeah, I know. I was surprised by it too. We're going to pop this up here on the screen so you guys can see it too. I didn't put them on this computer yet. I also got some other video footage from people during their storms yesterday. But yeah, here, can we just pop this over here and let you see it? Let's do that. Maybe this is the easier way of sharing what we've got for you. But the folks from the fire department had their hands full yesterday. It's like there wasn't enough water going around yesterday at all. The folks from the DFEMS had their hands full as well. Let's see if I can't put this on here for you like this. Boom. No, not that one. And there we go. All right, you ready? There we go. This is how you're going to be able to see it. Here's some of what we got last night. DFEMS was out there. That fire was rocking. I think this is the bigger clip.
Move these cars. Yeah, move these cars out.
Yeah, there you go. Well, let me turn this off so you guys can hear.
Oh, shit. Papa San.
Oh, geez.
Okay? Everyone's out?
All right, I'll turn down the volume on that one a little bit, but you can see it. Yeah, this is over yesterday.
Is anyone else inside? Is anyone else inside?
And we'll be posting that stuff out there so you guys can see it. But the folks from DFEMS had to respond to this yesterday. And part of the conversations that we were having about it, we haven't received it yet, but said, with all of the rain and all the water that's possible, it could have been one of those electrical fires that started from the shorts that were happening. Things getting zapped and currents just flowing. So, like everything else with NMI News Service, we're thankful for you guys for sending us things like this. When you've got photos, you've got videos, so that people can see what happens. We could be a lot of places, but it's hard to be everywhere. Oh, geez. You can see where it really started spreading there. And again, just sad stuff. And you can see a lot of standing water there, but electrical fires, when the rain's happening like this and the way that stuff can jump and short and pop. But we're looking forward to getting the info from DFEMS later. Oh, there they are, right there on the scene. They were pretty fast. In fact, we were just there. We were in Garapan talking to the folks, but look how quickly that stuff can spread. You see, that's Twins Mart there, so this is just down the street as folks started making their way over there. So the folks over at DFEMS getting it done. They are the pros for sure. Look at that, getting there on the scene. And imagine having to go through that. I hope everybody's okay there. They did say that everybody was out, that there wasn't anybody still inside the structure as it was going up. They're trying to get people to step back and everything. Yeah, this is from last night.
Oh, Papa-san, where is everyone?
Yeah, and thanks to Glenn for the video.
He owns a fresh market.
Yeah, and so that is a residence. They have a store right around the corner.
You okay, buddy? Yeah. Where's the family? Oh, they're at the store?
Yeah, just sad stuff yesterday. But again, well, look at them, really. These guys are awesome. And you see people working, see like Robert Mojica, he's one of those guys who's down there working. What was he doing? He was getting something to eat with his daughter and his mom. He just left, boom, and sprinted down there. So hats off to the guys from DFEMS for getting stuff done and knocking down that fire. And that was it. Again, just sad stuff that happened. But these guys are the hard-working team with DFEMS, getting out there and battling that blaze when everybody else was already waterlogged from all day. Of course, like anytime stuff like this happens, there's always folks who come down by the scene to check it out. And people helping each other out in the community. When things like that happen, that's where the Red Cross is supposed to be out there and helping out, help people get at least temporary lodging for the night. And just some clips from that. So thanks to our viewers for sending that stuff to us, and we'll be posting that later this morning. Again, so we've got the Tinian Mayor who's going to be with us later this morning. Looking forward to that. He's going to be on. It's our first time to have the Tinian Mayor. We've had our Saipan Mayor. We've had the Rhoda Mayor, and today's going to be our first day with the Tinian Mayor to talk to us about what's going on with the Pika Fest that's coming up February 13th and February 14th. It should be a great time. If every other year is an example, this year is going to be a great one for the Pika Fest. We got to hear a little bit about it from the folks at MVA as well, so it should be just awesome. Now, what else do we have today? We can talk a little bit about some of the other stuff that's happening in the Marianas, aside from just rain and the storms that we ended up having the last couple of days. Maybe we got something funnier to show you. Like people sent us some video of the kids in Tinian that were paddling in the park. That was great. It was a lot of fun. Let's see if we got another news update over here. We may. Not here. Well, let's do a real quick news update. Here we go.
A campaign-style stop. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump in Clive, Iowa, as he begins his push for Republicans heading into the midterms, telling the crowd if Democrats had their way, Americans would be getting the largest tax hike in American history, claiming to have cut regulations he calls job killing. A short time ago, the president told Fox he's making some changes in Minneapolis.
The departure of Border Patrol agents and Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino from Minnesota is not a pullback, President Trump says.
I don't think it's a pullback. It's a little bit of a change. Everybody in this room that has a business, you make little changes.
The president, speaking to Fox's Will Cain, says Bovino is very good.
But he's a pretty out there kind of a guy, and in some cases that's good. Maybe it wasn't good here.
President Trump dispatched Border Czar Tom Homan to Minnesota to manage immigration operations and meet with state and local officials to de-escalate. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
One person in critical condition after a shooting involving Border Patrol near the U.S.-Mexico border. The Pima County Sheriff's Department says it's working with the FBI and U.S. Customs and Border Protection in response to the shooting. The FBI says it's investigating what it says was an assault on a federal officer and that the subject's in custody. The area is a common path for drug smugglers and migrants who cross the border illegally. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy says if the recommendations on aircraft safety had been implemented, last year's crash between a military helicopter and a passenger jet likely wouldn't have happened.
We should be angry because for years no one listened. This was preventable. This was 100% preventable.
Hamady says the Biden administration turned down the request for a piece of equipment that allows aircraft to transmit location, altitude, and speed. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Jessica Rosenthal. Today on the Fox News Rundown, we speak to a retired Minnesota fraud investigator as House Republicans tee up additional hearings to look at stolen taxpayer dollars in Minnesota and beyond. Go to foxnewspodcast.com to listen and follow.
A lawsuit against the federal government filed by families of men from Trinidad killed in a military strike.
The families in their filing called the attack that killed their relatives manifestly unlawful, defined in military code as an obviously illegal act. The lawsuit alleges that there is no current conflict declared by Congress and that the premeditated killings are unjustified. Dozens of strikes have occurred in Caribbean and Eastern Pacific waters. More than 120 people have been killed as a result. The Department of War said it won't comment on active cases, but the Trump administration has previously called it an effort to combat narco-terrorism. This lawsuit is believed to be the first to challenge the U.S. boat strikes in front of a judge. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Dozens of Amazon stores are closing as soon as this weekend.
All of the Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh physical stores are closing as early as Sunday, as Amazon focuses on Whole Foods and online same-day delivery. The company is planning to open more than 100 new Whole Foods markets over the next few years. Amazon says its Fresh and Go stores failed to deliver the right economic model and distinctive customer experience necessary for large-scale expansion. Some California stores may be open longer because of state regulations on closings, and some of the stores that are closing will be converted into Whole Foods market locations. Ginny Coselda, Fox News.
Neil Young is offering a gift to Greenland.
Keeps me searching for a heart.
offering people who live there access to his entire music catalog for free, announcing on his blog that it's his way to ease stress among tensions involving the U.S. and NATO. The offer lasts for 1 year with possible renewal. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
This is Ainsley Earhart. Thank you for joining me for the 52-episode podcast series, The Life of Jesus.
A listening experience that will provide hope, comfort, and understanding of the greatest story ever told. Listen and follow now at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
I bring the heat today, so let's get started. Woke up and smiled, the sun shining. Let the sun shine in. Got dreams to chase and a world to win. Turn up the Rios is today, and let's dance through this day. Feel the vibe in the air. Come on, let's play. We live in love, making waves as we go. With every heartbeat, it's an endless show. We're living bright, let the music ignite. Good morning, Marianas. Let's shine tonight. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
All right, good morning, Marianas. Welcome back. A little note for folks who live over there or trying to drive through CK. Going to have a little bit of difficulty when you're trying to get through a certain part of Tun Joaquin Doi this morning. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge because the folks from CUC are trying to get you guys through with some serious stuff. Ooh, I got a phone call coming in right now. See if I can actually take it right now. Hold on one second. All right. Well, when I get that phone call, I got to take it. I was like, I didn't realize you're still on the air. All right. So let's get back. We'll get back to tell you about that here in just a second. But let's let you know about what's happening with this road closure over there in CK. So the CUC wastewater operators are installing a temporary sewer line bypass so they can get stuff done. So, hey, there's going to be all kinds of stuff that can happen. Construction, there are going to be vehicles. It might be a little bit loud and all that stuff, but they're out there putting out detour signs so you guys can find your way around that. They wouldn't be doing this if they didn't need to, but it's happening today. It's scheduled all the way through 3:30 p.m. And the way CUC works is that they can probably get you done beforehand, but they want to make sure they can manage your expectations, knowing that part of the road right there on Tun Joaquin Doi is going to be difficult to get through. So you can see there's LN Market. That's like on the way down. I'm not sure what the detour route is, but it looks like it's pretty easy to get around either way, especially if you go through either of those two little side streets on either side of it. So looks pretty good. Hopefully you guys don't have any problem navigating it, but we got that from CUC just a little bit ago to let you know that is what's happening right now. All right, folks, we're not going anywhere. Don't worry, but we are going to be giving you more right after this. If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Kagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996.
Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Waves crash hard, the shore don't break. Roots go deep, no storm can take. This land of ours where hearts ignite. Saipan stands holding tight. Tinian whispers, winds that heal. Roar rises, forged in steel. Island strong, we carry on. Through the dark, we find the dawn. Hold the line, we sing our song. Saipan, Tinian, Rota, island strong. Sky turns gray, but we don't fall. Towers crumble, we rebuild all. Sweat and tears, they mark the ground. Every loss, the strength we found. Mountains call, they stand so proud. Oceans roar, but we're not cowed. Island strong, we carry on. Through the dark, we find the dawn. Hold the line, we sing our song. Saipan, Tinian, Rota, island strong. Island strong, we carry on. Through the dark, we find the dawn. Hold the line, we sing our song. Saipan, Tinian, Rota, island
There we go. Now I can hear myself. Thank goodness. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, we are just a few minutes away from having the Tinian Mayor, Edwin Eldon, on with us today. This is up on the screen just to let you know that part of CK is a no-go zone, that red line. You're not going to be able to get through there. CUC is doing some current work over there on the sewer line project. They've got stuff in the road. You can't get through it that way. So dispense, but that's what you got. They can't really get much more for you than that. While we're here, while we're getting ready to get the mayor on, we've got something from the Associated Press. President Trump was broadcasting, or he made himself available to folks out in the mainland, and talked about what was going on with the recent shooting of somebody over there in Minnesota. So let's Let's hear what he's got to say.
Do you believe that Alex Cuddy's death was justified?
Well, you know, we're doing a big investigation. I want to see the investigation. I'm going to be watching over it. I want a very honorable and honest investigation. I have to see it myself.
Is Kristi Noem going to step down?
No. Well, I'm looking at that whole situation. I love everybody. I love all of our people. I love his family. And it's a very sad situation.
Do you think he was acting as an assassin in Minneapolis?
Who is that?
Mr. Cuddy, your deputy chief of staff said
not
that.
isn't it? No. With that being said, you know, you can't have guns. You can't walk in with guns. You just can't. And you can't, listen, you can't walk in with guns. You can't do that. But it's just a very unfortunate incident.
Yeah, and it is. I think they kind of nailed it right there. That's an understatement, but that is that's a sad commentary on something that's happening right now in this mainland. But we're not going to be spending much time on that right now. Totally going to be changing where we're at. But we stay a little bit more on the positive side. I want to show you something else that's happening right now, which is interesting. Did you know that the United States, we are going back to the moon? Yeah, which is true. We are going back to the moon. And there is a rocket on a launch pad getting ready to go. It's not happening today, but the Artemis 2 mission is getting ready to kick off. Artemis 3 is the one that's going to be sending the actual people to land on the moon. And Artemis 4 is where they're going to start with an actual construction of a moon base. Yeah. Well, all this other stuff's happening. At least we got more exciting stuff that's happening. I should say more positive things that are happening. I don't know what life is going to be like when we have a moon base, but I do think that's a pretty cool deal. All right. Yeah, I'm down for that. I just got a WhatsApp. I am definitely down for being on the first mission to the moon. That would be great. I don't think I'd be able to help too much. I would just be able to do a morning show. Good mooning, Marianas? No, that's not good either. All right. Well, it's still raining pretty decent out here, and there's no more puns. I promise. At least for a little while. But that's what we have going on. Again, Mayor from Tinian coming on. I'm blown away. You know, we did give you the news update. We had to slide over to the Fox News because after just the last couple hours, just nothing from AP, and a little disappointing because they're my go-to for all of this stuff. All right, so let's do this. Let's slide in here. We're getting ready. We're going to set all this stuff up. All right, good news. I just got something from the mayor's office. Here we go. All right, we just got the remarks that the mayor just gave over there at Industry Day, because today is Industry Day over there in Tinian. We just had it in Saipan. Let's save those, and we'll open those up here. Let's open it up, and we'll get that ready. Again, the mayor is just a few moments away from joining us today. Looking forward to this. There we go. Yeah, yesterday we had the Industry Day in Saipan at the Crown Plaza. And, you know, it was scheduled to be like an all-day thing, but they got through it so quick. And the exhibitor part in the beginning was really helpful. You know, we spoke with Nadine. In fact, we'll be posting that up here as well today about, about how great everything went yesterday. Well, that's why we didn't get any. Dispensa, if you guys tried calling us today. Because I'm such a pro, and I was using this phone yesterday for the to shoot video. I had it set on airplane mode. So if you tried calling the show this morning, Dispensa, I'm sorry. Hold on. We'll find out if we had a bunch of missed calls. But at least what I can end up doing is getting you Nadine on here because she gave us some great stuff yesterday. Oh, there we go. That's it right there. Oh, geez. And people sent all kinds of video afterwards. Oh, yeah, and that's us going through. Let's move this over. Boom. There we go. We're going to send this over so you guys will be able to check it out. Yeah, we went over to NM Tech yesterday. And, boy, I'll tell you what, NM Tech is awesome. If you guys haven't been there to check it out, you need to. Just so you can see all the cool stuff that they have. And you can see how hard the folks are who are over there. Because the amount of stuff that they're doing is just incredible. The amount of programs that they have are incredible. Well, here, let's do this. We're going to get you this. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's get you this. No, we don't need this one for you today. But the amount of programs that they have over there are incredible. And the people over there are outstanding. But again, those programs that they have are outstanding. And yeah, that should be it. All right. And the equipment that they have, the facility that they have is great. Did you know over at the, you guys remember Hard Rock? Remember they have that old Cadillac above the bar? It's still in Saipan. And it's here at NM Tech. All right. Let's get you this interview with Nadine real quick. We're going to be posting this up later today. We only got a couple of minutes. Yeah. You know, I don't think we're going to be able to get to it. We're just going to get ready for the mayor. So just sit tight. There we go. I'm going to plug in with the mayor's office right now. Of course this happens. I know this is Google Meet. Don't worry about my weird look here. We'll be fixing this for you, folks, in just a second.
This is the mayor's staff. I'm just waiting on the mayor.
Okay, well, that's great. Great to have you. And so what we've got, folks, we've got the mayor's camera there online as well. So we'll be able to see him and the whole team. They're getting it all set up for him over there. Give you an idea what we're looking at over here. This is great. It's our first time getting the Tinian mayor on the show. Hey, good morning.
Hello.
Oh, hopefully they can hear us.
Hey, Pat.
Yes, can you hear us?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear loud and clear. Okay, just give the mayor a few more minutes. He should be on his way. He's at the industrial day right now.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. All right.
Sounds
He'll
good.
be here shortly. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so now you know that's what we've got with the mayor's office. Just waiting so that we can get together. I know that you're listening to me. I'm still on the show, so we're talking to everybody. But it's great to see you. You got a great view of you over there. How's everything? Did you guys get as much rain as we did?
Oh yes, we do. We do have a lot of rain.
Yeah, I saw people paddling in the park over there.
Oh wow.
Some people sent us some video of folks that were just having a good time over there in the park.
All Okay, so let me just go online, and I'm gonna go and connect with the mayor. Okay.
No problem. We'll be ready when you are.
Thank you, Brad.
All right, thank you. All right, well, this is going to be great. Really looking forward to it, and we'll be all set up. I know they're like, "Hey, what's going on? We got work to do." It's no problem, but you're looking. That is in the Tinian Mayor's conference room, and that is a great place to be for sure. Let's see if we can't move this up here and get you guys on. There we go. Yeah, this is a new one. This is the first one for us. We're excited about it, too. It's going to be great. Yeah, I'm seeing you guys in the comments. This is going to be great. I'm pretty stoked about it, that we're actually going to get the mayor on here. So we'll just leave this up here for now as we wait. The mayor was just giving his comments over there in Tinian to kick off Industrial Day. In fact, while we're waiting on the mayor to get here, we can tell you a little bit. We can actually read his speech. How about that? Don't worry, it's not too much. But while we're at it, this is the mayor today over at his opening remarks for SBDC. Again, they just did the big, oh, look at that. They're going to zoom in. Nice tight shot over there. We just had the industry day in Saipan at Crown Plaza. They're doing it in Tinian. And so here's the Tinian mayor's remarks. He says, "It's a pleasure to be here with you today for 2026 Industry Day, hosted by the CNMI Small Business Development Center Network at Northern Marianas College, and taking place across our 3 islands of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota. Want to take a moment to recognize and commend our small business owners and entrepreneurs. You're the backbone of our local economy, and your innovation, resilience, and commitment continue to create opportunities and strengthen our communities throughout the Commonwealth. I encourage each of you to actively engage today, ask questions, make connections, and learn about upcoming opportunities so that you can be well positioned to participate in providing goods and services during the Department of Defense buildup in the Commonwealth. I would also like to extend my sincere appreciation to the CNMI Small Business Development Center Network and Northern Marianas College for sponsoring and organizing this important Tri-Island event, and for your continued dedication and to preparing and supporting our local businesses for growth and success. We're honored to be joined by our federal and military partners, including representatives from PACAV and NAVFAC Marianas, the Commonwealth Bureau of Military Affairs, and the Department of Defense. Thank you for your continued participation and engagement with our local business community. Your presence here today demonstrates your commitment to building strong relationships and ensuring that our local companies are aware of and prepared for upcoming contracting and subcontracting opportunities. As the Department of Defense continues its activities and investments in the CNMI, I respectfully encourage you to continue prioritizing local businesses whenever possible. Doing so not only strengthens our economy, but also builds on the strong partnership and trust that we have developed together over the past years. Supporting local vendors and contractors helps ensure that the benefits of this buildup are shared throughout our islands and communities. Events like Industry Day are critical in connecting our entrepreneurs with procurement professionals, fostering collaboration, and laying the groundwork for long-term economic development across the Commonwealth. To everyone participating today, whether here on Tinian or joining from Saipan and Rota, thank you for being part of this effort. I wish you a productive, informative, and successful Industry Day. That was the opening remarks delivered by Tinian Mayor Edwin Aldan at Industry Day in Tinian today. And so after he's done with that, I know everybody's going to want to shake his hand, get to meet him, trade off business cards and all that stuff. And then he's heading back to the office to be able to tell us a little bit about Pika Fest today. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to this opportunity to have the mayor on for the first time. How cool is that? Just across the channel. And we already heard that they're getting just as much of this weather as we have the last couple of days. So good stuff. What else is going on? Oh, yeah, by the way, we just got this. Ooh, we're going to have to look into this. That's great. Thank you. Somebody just sent me a pizza promo. I'm like, if it's not Godfather, so is it good? Real quick poll. I mean, I already know who's winning. My thumb is on the scale. The Godfather's is the best pizza in Saipan. I haven't tried Khan's Pizza over there in Tinian, but I've heard a lot about it. Hey, good morning. Watching from the Philippines. That's great. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we're just moments away, waiting for Tinian Mayor. He's going to be on with us. Says, shout out to the Titano. Hey, that's great. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, that's great. Let's see if we can't get this on here. Ooh, no, cancel. Excuse me. Oh, there we go. Excuse me. Oh, no. There we go. That's what we're holding up. That's who we're going to have. The Tinian Mayor, he's going to be on with us in just a little bit. Jeez. Oh, we've got these things ready to go. Do we have that promo ready? Can we put that on here? I mean, I figure we can.
Oh! Woo-hoo! Yeah! Oh, yeah! Woo! Sun jumps up over San Jose. Boots lined up the Fiesta way. Kids got tickets clutched in their hands. So kicking up the sand. Smell that smoke, yeah, the grills all glow. Teenagers laughing in a long, long row. Hot sauce bottles, red as can be. Pepper so hot, you can hardly see. Pica Fest on Tinian. Spice in the air. The house of Tiger and the coolest man. We drink so cool in the hot, hot sun. Hot sauce in our veins and the 5K run. A Pica Fest on Tinian. No other party can compare. Every laugh, every shout, every bite, and the coolest man.
All right. Hi, Brad. Hello. Hi, Brad.
There we go. I could see the mayor all the way over there. Holy cow.
Hi. I'm sorry. I apologize. I just got off from the symposium for the military contractors out here that SBDC has been doing throughout the whole week. I guess throughout the three islands, Rhoda, T, and Saipan. They're trying to gather all the business folks to meet up with the Air Force and the Navy and I guess the Marines for some business opportunities.
Yeah, and it sounds like you guys have the most stuff going on over there.
Yeah. It's a good hectic. It's a good headache. It's a very the opportunities are just very big. We kind of like try and not no not no not really chime in. We need it should be our business to make sure that things are uh, going well for us, no, environmentally, and the opportunities is just too big for us to just sit on the sideline and let the big guys come in and roll us over on these contracts that have been pushed out, that have been really being pushed out through Department of War for the build up here in the cinema.
You know, Mr. Mayor, I know we were going to talk mostly about the Pica Fest and everything like that, but can you maybe tell us a couple things about, like, how are things going on over there? We came over a couple times for different events, and, you know, we saw that there's a lot of work going on over there. A lot of folks all over.
Man, it's always on a daily grind. It's always been DOW, man. They have the most biggest interest on our island. We used to have the casino, but you know where the casino went. So now we have Department of War who's doing all these military build-ups on our 1/3 or 2/3 of our island. So it is a big impact in not only the business side, but also in moving forward, no, on how we normally deal on our daily life. It's 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 put a change to it as far as people finding jobs and getting to understand the real picture of a private sector, no? Oh, dealing with the contractors, which I kudos to them for really doing their best to bring in some of our local folks to work on the private sector. Some of our the change that I see from last year is a lot of our locals are starting to get in tune and get into how to get hired under a private contractor at a very very reasonable salary. I mean, more than these guys are getting hired more than minimum wage. You know, some people are getting hired $12 an hour, 15. Some are even going up to $26 an hour, depending on your skills. But even now, even if you don't have skills, they'll take a chance on us, the locals, and hopefully within duration of a time they give you to improve. If you improve, they'll give you more than what you the minimum wage is. So it is really a big impact in our community and so forth to the Commonwealth in the stream of collections. We have been contributing so much to than previously, than previous times. We do see a very big spike on the municipality's contribution to the Commonwealth, and that's great. That's great.
And $26 an hour is incredible. That's almost enough for 1 gallon of gas over there in Tinian. It's pretty expensive.
Oh yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, that's one of the challenges when we see one. We used to have only JC. Remember, we only had JC as the restaurant, and then now in the span of 2 years and a half, we have like seven. I mean, we have Chinese restaurant, we have Koreans, we have Vietnam restaurant, Thai restaurant, we have, Korean, we have Barke, specialized in American no dinner type, no. So yeah, we have a lot of restaurants popping up.
That's great. Tinian is popping. I just spoke with somebody a couple of weeks ago who told me they're going to open up a new facility over there too, a new business. But that's their news to share, not me. But that just goes to talk about the excitement of all the stuff that's happening. People see that there's a real opportunity over there in Tinian.
Yeah, and when you see the competitiveness of all of these different kind of businesses, then you see the price starts to be competing amongst themselves. So then you see the price start getting a little bit, a little bit more down than the usual, the one and only monopolizing, and that's business, That's we can't dictate over them, because if you corner the market, then of course you do what you need to do to survive or to make more profits. But yeah, lately we have more hotels than we came out from U2. When we came out from U2, we only had like 58 inventory rooms. Now we might have like 100 plus more. So we were looking at maybe like 160 to include some of the B&Bs. And the B&Bs are really popped out of the network, out of the woodworks, because some of these folks had extra house, but they don't really understand the demand from the contractors, not necessarily from the military, but through the contractors. They need for executive staffing to stay on a house instead of a barracks, preferably. And then you have your on and off contractors that come in 3 times, 4 times a month, and they just need a steady place where they can put their stuff. And whenever they're in town, and there's a car, there's a house, there's equipments are there. Those are the things that are popping up. So yeah, man, more of these buildings that were abandoned like 4 or 5 years ago are coming online. They're good backup for us when we have like now, like the fiesta, this coming Pika Fest is wow. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm telling you, Brad.
Well, I'm excited for it. We were talking about Pika Fest ever since we started getting the word coming out from MVA and putting it out there. And boy, it looks like you guys are just making an even bigger event this year too at the Fiesta grounds. I love it. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
This is a collaboration between actually MVA is the organizing entity for this Pika Fest. Pika Fest has always been MVA's one of MVA's signature events, but we at the mayor's office have always partnered up with them to make sure that we all help out in promoting and making sure that the brand of Pika stays on Tinian. No, so this is the 22nd year of the Tinian Hot Pepper Festival. It's going to be on February 13th through the 14th of in a couple of weeks, no? So, man, we've got a lot of things lined up as far as activities, and we do have special guests coming in to be with us, and they're from different parts of the world. So on February 13th, there will be the booths will open at 10 a.m. So they'll be serving lunch. Anybody wants to grab hot plates, uh, pick up plates. Please come down to the Fiesta grounds. They'll be there selling. Couple booths are going to start open on lunch, during lunch, and then we have the ceremony at 6:30 p.m. Uh, During this ceremony, I'll be recognizing some of the mayors coming over from Guam. We do have a program under our AMIM program, the associations between the mayors and the municipal councils from both Guam and the Sinamay. We have a student exchange program. We have like 7 students from Guam, 4 students from Rhoda, 2 students from Saipan, and 2 from Northern Ireland, and a couple of the students from Tia. We bring them together to share what can they share, and show them some of the stuff that we have here that they don't have in their places. Like for us, we have um, we have a slaughterhouse here that none of the islands have. So specifically, we're targeting on the slaughtering of cows, and then also the raising of cows, and what are the end products of meat. To those kind of extent, and then we'll take them out to see some of our historical sites. That's the whole program is in itself, and then there's another person that I really wanted to share with some of the people in the Commonwealth is we have a governor from the Philippines coming over to visit us during our Pika Fest. This came about when we have a sister city. Tinian has a sister city in Benguet. Benguet is the province up in Baguio. Baguio City falls under Benguet, the province of Benguet, and so as Tublay. So Tublay is the city, the municipality that we have sister cityhood. And the mayor was here 2 years ago, and then I visited him last year. I invited also the governor and the new incoming mayor, and they're all 3 of them and their staff are coming in. So there'll be like 12 people from the province of Benguet will be here present, to include the governor.
Man.
And go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, man, that sounds great, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah. Something that a governor visiting us from a different nation, no, is that's pretty cool, man. I didn't. I asked him, and he said he'll see if he still has if it's an open block. So then we requested for visa for him, and then he got approved. And then he said, "Hey, I'm free. I'm coming down." He called me up like 2 weeks ago. To go, oh, oh. So yeah, we're having that, and also during that day, separate and aside from the Pickup Fest, but we wanted to make sure that we take the opportunity where the peoples are gathered, no, because we only have 4 festivities in a year. So that day also on February 13th we will do a ribbon cutting in the morning at 10 in the morning. We're going to do a ribbon cutting for the marina. Finally, the marina is done. Our marina is fixed. We have transit, and then the slips are all open, brand new decks. So we're doing ribbon cutting for that particular project. And I got to give kudos to Dylan, especially the guys from the Ben and the crew from the marina up in Saipan for the fish and wildlife. Ben Camacho and all those folks, man. Yeah, if even Cecilio, Captain Cecilio's crew was part of it, and PA Pat Guerrero.
Wow.
I give them kudos for really pushing. They took them less than 20 days to put it together, and here we are. We're ready to roll out the brand new slips for our fishermen and our not necessarily just fishermen, even those guys that go out and just do diving or anything. But it's sure we're very happy. The people of Tinian, especially the folks that do water sports and fishing, they're really happy and excited that this thing is done and ready for the public to use. No, that's going to be on a Friday, and we have lined up. I don't have the names of the entertainment that are going to happen on Friday night, but that there will be an entertainment from starting from 6, 7 to 11 in the evening. But usually we don't shut down at 11, so we usually NBA will sponsor all the way to 11, and then we'll take care if the band needs to stay again for another 2 hours. So we'll pay for that if it because we can't shut down the band when there's still hundreds of people still sitting there enjoying the night. So we usually take over until like 1 in the morning, no, which is 1 in the morning is enough already. I think.
Hey, I have definitely fallen victim to the small bars that are there for the on the Fiesta grounds. They are. I have definitely had Friday turn into Saturday, and really enjoyed it over there. You guys know how to party over there in Tinian.
Brad, I always prepare myself because once the party starts, it starts like so. We have visitors coming in on Thursday nights, so then the soft opening or the fiesta ground starts on Thursday night. You can go down there, they'll listen to music, and then sometimes they'll just bring out a karaoke and you sing, get up there and just sing karaoke, and then all the way. So man, I try to prepare my mind, body, and soul for every each of these festivals that we have, because if I'm not prepared, I'll be just strangling, like I don't know, just going, and I don't really get to enjoy it. I gotta prepare myself, and then no drinks 1 week before fiesta, and just relax. And when Thursday comes around, then I start, entertaining some of the guests that come in, and try to be as much as possible visible to our visitors, and making sure that they enjoy our island. And then on of course February 14th is actually Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So yeah, so in the morning, the fishing derby. We have a fishing derby on the 13th. So the prices are I think 1,000 and 1,005, and then something like 1,000, and then 800.
Wow.
The prices. So it's for, I believe, Wahoo, and it's gonna be uh, uh, throughout the whole day, and hopefully by last call will be at 5 and announce the winner by 6. And the real competition starts on Saturday for some of these cooking contests. We have cooking count. We have at 6:30. We have the third annual Pika Fun Run. So there's going to be it starts from where are we at Fiesta Grounds, and then it goes up. I think Broadway, then Suicide, then Broadway, then back to the Fiesta Grounds. And then we have at 2 p.m. we have the Stufao picking contest. That's the cooking of the chicken Stufao. Then 4 p.m. we have the Umang race, and
Yes.
then announcements of the Fun Pika Run winners, and then 2025 Little Miss and Mr. Pika, and then band performances. Then we have the Pika Burger. This is sponsored annually by JC. These are big burgers that they put donni, and then you eat eat with the doni. Oh, oh my! They're not only watery, delicious, but they're spicy. So
Oh.
that's the deception is when you look at the cheeseburger. These burgers, they look like they're very very juicy, but in that side and the pepper, oh my goodness! And then you have the Doni eating contest. By 6 p.m., we have the Doni eating contest, the cultural dance by some of our local dancers, and then the Bailan Botsu dance contest, cha-cha dance contest, band performance, and then closing by 11. Um, uh, this year, we try to make it more add in there more activities. I know that there will be some more additional performing bands and artists that are going to come in the last minute. As per my request, this year is my last Pika, so I told the staff we're gonna really work together with MVA and push this year's Pika to be one of the big ones and one of the successful ones.
Well, you're one of the big ones and one of the successful ones from the mayor's perspective. You know, Mr. Mayor, you've done so much over the past 2 terms. I think I don't think it's too much to say that you've had probably the most challenging period to go through as the mayor of Tinian, but in the past, 7 years now. I can't imagine anybody else who's had to deal with as much stuff as you've had to deal with during your time as mayor right now. And, you got the pandemic stuff that happened, you got the typhoons that happened, recovery from all of that. And, now you're dealing with, things really picking up over there with all of the military stuff too. What do you think is going to be the thing you look back on that you're the most proud of from your time as mayor?
I think for me, yeah, is the events that we really picked up. That's one. That's one. The events over the years that we've really marketed and we really built the foundation that this 4 events that we have annually will be successful, and the planning that we put together and the people that we work with is that in itself is it just every year we pick up a knot on that platform. No, the other one is when U2 before I got in U2 devastated the island. I cried. I cried. I see the people. Then just the day after the typhoon, walking around confused. Some of them are just lost because they lost everything. Not only the house is everything that they own, got destroyed during the typhoon, and I was crying, and that was before even I became a mayor, and I couldn't believe that within 2 years, all of these assistance from the federal agencies, be it FEMA, HUD, Homeland Security, you know, it's just the federal arm really reached out to us, Saipan Tinian, and stayed with us to this day. The Marina project is a FEMA project that was derived from to U2, no, and to this day we still have a lot of infrastructures that are still coming up that are still very critical to our municipality. A couple of them, but the infrastructure, the rebuilding, the resiliency that we put into this infrastructure is what I consider one of the most accomplished that I would say for me. For me, is this a lot of this infrastructure will not be in place if not with the team that we have at the municipality and the FEMA and the Public Assistance Office, and some of it through the grants would not have been possible without continuing to, to work together, because, we have our ups and downs, we have our disappointments, but the good thing is we never cut that line that attached us. No, no. We never cut the umbilical cord. we continue to speak after 1 month of being mad at each other. We still come back to the table and let's leave that behind and let's move forward. Those kind of attitude and way of professionally moving forward with some of this project is it's the way it should be. And I always put myself, I'm not a perfect person, but if I get mad, I'm sorry. But just put in mind that I'll be calling you because it's never gonna happen if we don't work together. We need to work together in a lot of this government. No, we don't want attitudes that once we talk and we sound like we're mad at you, you're not gonna talk to me, you're gonna get pissed off, we're gonna lose out on a grant because you don't want to talk to me. That's wrong. We agree to disagree and we move on. That has to be the way of doing business or doing work in the government, because nobody owns the government. The government is owned by the people. So that's my two things that I would say on top of my list.
That's great. You're right. Seeing the rebuilding and the new infrastructure, but I love that. Not only do you have the big events that are kind of. It's like Tinian is the party island. Like it's beautiful. There's there's the history of the culture, but like the events that you guys have are so much fun, and everybody gets behind them. They're great. But one of the things that we talk about, like when we go over there with the fam, is like it's set up for people to just enjoy life. When you go to the beach, it's clean, and you have the outdoor showers for people to rinse off. It's like it's made for the locals to enjoy. The outdoor restrooms, the convenience, people take care of it. Tinian is set up for people to enjoy it, and it looks like, I think the best part about it is that you start with the folks from Tinian first. What do you want, and people can enjoy it in their own island.
Yeah, and it took a while, right? It took a while for people to realize that all of these things that with the team, the team Tinian, I call this is the government employees and the staff from the mayor's office. I call them Team Tinian. All of these things that we do, it's for them. Mainly, it's for them. But if anything, and anybody else that would really appreciate it is people that visit us, because from where they come from is totally different. You have so many pavilions in so many places, that don't have water, they don't have power, they don't even have restroom. But there is a nice pavilion. But in our beach, in our sites, we have all three of them. We have power, water, restroom, and a place to shower and change. And it took us a long time for our community to really partner up and consider. You don't take the light bulb because you don't have a light bulb at your house. You don't take out the bulb and leave the water running, and then you're gonna bring it to your house. It's $1.50 and $2, I think, the faucet bulb. And why would you do that? And then we keep on. It took us time, but I think at this point, everybody now is majority, sees the importance of making sure that these things are kept, clean, and things are not going to be fuzzy, uh, to paint the wall and throw your trash. It's not happening now because they see they're a part of this community. And when you steal light bulb is not, you're not stealing from the mayor, you're stealing from yourself, because you're going to pay for us to buy a light bulb. So the sense of responsibility and being a partner of this, making sure that we clean the beach, because every day we have visitors coming in. Not only the visitors, we have the military that are here that I really really appreciate the places that they go to in our beach, and they always praise the local for being fortunate and lucky to see a sunset and all of these things. So now we're kind of like we're really coming together and having an understanding that this is not government owned. This is owned by the people, and it reflects on the people that stay on this island, and that's why we continue to can expand. No, now we have laboratories, we have shower heads. We're about to put shower heads at the dock, so then when people come in, they can rinse and then change inside the restroom. These kind of things we want to start improving, and make sure na our visitors have convenience. No convenience.
Tinian is leading the way. I'm telling you, it's not a bad thing to focus on the people of your community, with regards to like tourism and stuff, because when people get to see this is what people want to see. They want to see places that are like this, and people who live here would love that stuff. Like if we started mirroring that same thing in Saipan, having like all those kind of a rinse-off facility, being able to have the changing facility, even the restrooms out there, all that stuff. That is it. And by the way, that marina, those docks, they look great. Not just even for the people who have boats. People who don't have boats still go down there and hang out because it's such a great spot down there.
An add-on that I really wanna put there in the marina is that Brad, when you go to the States or any marina in the States, you have this place where they clean the fish, right?
Yes.
Clean up the scale, cut up the stuff, and then that is going to be an add-on that me and Fish and Wildlife are working this week to put it on, and then hopefully stretch out the water so they can rinse whatever they need to rinse it in the marina, just like what they have in Saipan. But the add-on, the big one there is the scale, where you clean the fish and you just throw the gut inside the water for the fish to eat. So that one is going to be an add-on.
You going to get this done? You only got a year left. You going to be able to get it done, Mr. Mayor?
Oh yeah, sure. That's actually by next week next 2 weeks we're having the Pika Fest. It should be up and ready to be used during the Pika Fest.
Look at that. Look at that. Holy cow. What are you going to do like after pretty much running Tinian with a great team and networking with everybody? What are you going to do next? I can't imagine you're just going to retire and relax and kick your feet up. You've been doing so much work for like 8 years.
I started politics in 2001. So I think 24 years of politicking is and I need to turn the torch over to some of these young kids, young generation, that to start their being a part of the community, because if we're gonna recruit, when I first got in band, I was in my I was 35 years old when I got in. 35 years old when I got in.
Wow.
My first time being elected I'm 55 now, so this torch has to be honestly passed down to the next generation, and they need to be prepared. And then even if it takes for them to be in the council or the house, whatever level, we need to start our young generation be engaging in the political side of the municipality. And it doesn't matter what party. It's just that we need to make them civically come and participate in all of these decision makings that the present leadership, because when you look at the present leadership between me, Jude, Senator Frank, we're all getting dinosaur already. We're hitting, somebody's already in the 60, and we're about to get 16 in a couple of years. So the opportunity they gave me that opportunity when I was 35 years old. And then I just stuck with that, and then just keep on hearing things about what can we do for the municipality, what are the good stuff, what are the bad stuff, and start moving forward. So it was not like a last minute thing. This is generational institutional knowledge that I gained through the previous leadership that had given me the opportunity to be a part of the discussion at that time. But we never left those ideas. Those ideas are still in our plans. But every year, every 5 years, the technology changes and becomes more cheaper or more expensive or whatnot. No, but it's there. The fundamental what needs to be done to the municipality is embedded in me since when I was 35 years old. Moving forward, a lot of things. So that's why I would not say successful, but I was the institutional knowledge that I gained was so much help for me when I became a mayor, because I sort of kind of know what I'm talking about. Not to the 100% of what it is right now, but back then when we were talking about, landfill, we went through two environmental studies for two locations. I see the two different sides of this place environmentally, and then now we engage with the military to use some of the lands that they have, which is more spacing, more all of these things. So yeah, that's how things worked out for me. It was not just that I came in 8 years ago. No, it was those previous positions that I held prior for me becoming a mayor was really helpful for me and the leadership.
So the young guy is now the Senate president, and he didn't waste any time. He got up there pretty fast.
Yeah, and I'm very proud of him, man. I'm very proud of Carl. Carl, Senate President, is one of the young guys that took the bull by the horn and said, "Okay, let me play with it." Now I said, "Hey, you're no longer a rookie. You're a seasonal politician already." But Carl really deals with the issue at hand. No, and despite whatever the political pool or the political side, which whenever is 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 introducing such bill. No, it's Carl can really get in there, roll up his sleeves, and dissect and understand what's the fundamental meaning of this bill. Where are we headed between the lines and everything? Carl is one of our bright future leaders from Tinian that what only like 6 years ago he came into the picture.
Wow.
And he was like hesitating. No, don't worry about that. You do good. You don't worry. You pick up pretty fast. When now he's picking up pretty fast, and oh my God, this politics. I don't like politics. I just want to solve problems, and I don't like the politics. Well, problem comes with politics. Yeah, no, because I know what you mean, Carl, but just do the best you can. But he's been a real true leader for Tinian, so as other members of the delegation. No, but Carl is one of the young ones. Like I said, the ones that we need to pass the torch to. But he's up there already.
Well, if you're going to be stepping away, then you've got, Senator Jude, Senator Frank. You guys are all like around the same age, right? Do you have some other like up and comers that we should be looking out for? Some folks who are you think are ready to take that torch from you? I've seen some young professionals making their way up, and I wonder if we might see them go from the private sector to the public side.
Yeah, so we do have, and some of these service members, don't forget our service members. They've went, and we always thank them for their service, and when they come back, they see this opportunity also as one of the fastest way to make an impact in the community is be a part of the decision making, which is elected position, and I encourage them, take 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 the opportunity if you really feel in your heart that you want to serve the community. So that's what it takes, is your heart. Your heart. If your heart is not there to serve the people, then take a step back and then do something else while you're working on, do you accept the responsibilities, not only as being the other flip side of the coin. You know what I'm talking about, Brad. The other flip side of the coin of being an elected official. No, there's always responsibilities that is not in your alley, but it comes with the turf. What they say. So if you don't want to do other activities that is it's not illegal, I'm saying, but it's helping, truly helping, then just take a step back and take a couple years, then come back. But I want to say that some of our fellow service members also are really good serving people that can always run. You know, it's not only Senate or House or Mayor. There's municipal council. There's boards of education. You know, that you can make a big impact in the community. But if not, then you can find yourself to keep yourself like for me, I'm probably gonna set up something like a non-profit and you know just be on the sideline for now and just continue to help out in somewhat like that kind of for now until we'll see again in the near future. No, but I think I've always had the political side in my blood, uh, and it's gonna be hard to let go, but I have to, man. If I don't sacrifice myself getting out of the picture right now, what's gonna be the opportunity for the next generations to come? You know.
No kidding.
And you know, I will always be there. Mm, Nevertheless, if it's whatever political party they come in, the municipality belongs to the people, and I'll be available if they reach out and they need help. If he's a friend of mine, I'm gonna spank him or tap him on the head. What you doing? You know, we've always uh, the municipality is too small to be, you know, to be having so many kind of different raucous, you know, inner fighting and personality problems. We don't need those kind of things. It holds back a lot of things that should have could have really developed the island if we just tend to negative things. Let's just be positive and help one another, in regardless of what party is sitting in the municipality.
Well, you know,
That's how.
sorry, Mr. Mayor Dispenza. I was just going to say you know, you talked about what you're, most proud of, but is there something that you can only do 2 terms as mayor, right? You're already reaching out, but if you had another term, is there something else that you would want to try to accomplish?
Well, I, I don't want to say because really, yeah, really, if you look at uh, uh, in each senatorial district. So we're going through a senatorial districts, no?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you ever, I was a council member for 4 years, 2 terms. I was elected House of Representative for 8 years, for 4 terms, and then a 2-term mayor for 8 years. So that's what's the one position that I would occupy that would make me, what do you call that when you do the baseball and then you got all the Cy Young winner,
Oh, like
all of the,
hitting for the cycle or something like that?
yeah, something like that. Remember that? That's kind of like, if anything, no. But I wouldn't press it that I need to give the opportunity to the young folks, and for me stepping down and retiring, because this would be my second retirement. I
Wow.
retired in 2009 and then came back. Then now this is my second term. So if anything, it's the Senate.
Wow.
The Senate will fulfill all of my senatorial positions because the everything else is on an island wide, no, cinema wide.
Mm-hmm.
The delegate, the what's this? The governor is cinema wide. But coming from a municipality, a senatorial district, if I fulfilled the Senate, so that I served all of the positions that is for the senatorial district.
Wow. Wow.
I know.
Well,
And I think that's never been done. Never been done. Let alone And I think only a couple of us, mostly from the islands, no, from municipality of Tinian and Rona, where a mayor is a former legislature, but in Saipan is pretty hard. Only a couple of them, uh, not that much, that were elected in the House or the Senate and became a mayor.
Well, you could be that. You could be that one. If any mayor can do it, you've already got the island-wide vote for Tinian. That's just one next thing to put on there. One more challenge. Whoa. Can't imagine. Well, I hope it works out. I don't know if you'll be able to be talked into it, but it would be cool to see it. If you get that.
Yeah, I want to work on my federal contribution so I can retire.
There you go.
Already retired at the cinema. It's going to be only Social Security. I heard Trump is going to bring up the Social Security to 67.
Oh man!
11 years from now, I don't. I rather by 11 years from now, I'd rather work with some kind of federal job and then hopefully can retire from the federal side, no, and then
double
get the pension, the Social Security by then. Hopefully, cross our fingers.
It's perfect. Hey, Mr. Mayor, I know that you're busy, and I'm thankful that you were able to make some time for us today. I know we have Pika Fest is coming up February 13th and 14th. It'll be your spiciest Valentine's Day ever by heading over to Tinian to participate in all the events. They got a 5K, they got a fishing tournament, they've got all the cooking and eating events. And boy, it's just a lot of fun every time that happens. Oh, and even though go ahead.
And I just want to, before I forget, also our partners, the 500 sales are coming down. Ooh. They're coming down on, I believe, on Friday, Saturday, and heading back on Sunday. So they're going to do some, bring out some kits. And anybody who is willing to come and experience the 500 sales, just come down to Camera Beach and Jones Beach, and they'll be there demonstrating and taking people out and bringing them in. That's a trip, though, also to not to forget to try. I want to make these kids from Guam and Rhoda try the 500 cells.
It was great. We did that last year when they came over. I had my daughter with me. And thanks for letting her interview you last year. She loved doing that. But it was a lot of fun to be a part of it. But getting on the water with the folks from 500 Sails and seeing Tinian from that side is just beautiful. The water was great.
Yeah, man. I saw some of the pictures they took because they were using the drone coming over, and it was they got some nice pictures on the shorelines, from the shoreline. Also from the outside, taking pictures in while they're paddling over. Man, that was some awesome photos they showed me.
It was. Well, I look forward to seeing more of it this year. All right, Mr. Mayor, thanks again for your time. And thanks to your staff for putting this together for us.
Está no problem, brother. Okay.
All right. That's the Mayor of Tinian, folks, Edwin Aldan. And we're glad that he was able to join us today. I want to thank everybody else for joining us today, as well as we're going to wrap up and get into the rest of the schedule that we've got for you. So thanks so much. It was the overtime edition of Good Morning Marianas today. We'll take one last check just to see if AP, the Associated Press, has gotten their stuff together to see if we've got if they do have an update. The last update that we ended up getting was hours ago, and we want to see if we can't just maybe get a new update from them so that we can bring it to you. Let's find out if they have updated it. No, it's still the same one. They just got the same update. Well, what are you going to do? We will still enjoy the fact that we had a great day today. Glad that you guys were here with us. How about over here? Is this something? Oh, this is a sports one. Not too bad. Well, let's give you this. This is the latest thing that they do have for sports, so let's give it a shot. Anyway, thanks for tuning in today. It's been an absolute treat to have all the guests that we had in with us today. Landon for the weather, Manny Borja, and Francis Sablon coming in. And, wow, for Kantan Zamorita and our new book that we've got that'll help us continue our language lessons with Fino tomorrow. And thanks to the Mayor of Tinia for joining us today. All right, well, here's the latest sports update that we've got from the Associated Press.
AP Sports, I'm Gethin Coolbaugh. Braden Burry scored 29 points and made a game-saving block in the final seconds as top-ranked Arizona remained unbeaten by holding off a furious rally from number 13 BYU for an 86-83 win.
My teammates have been having my back this whole year, and that was the least I can do is help them in that position right there.
Duke held steady at number 4 while Gonzaga moved up to 6th in the AP Top 25. UConn and UCLA are numbers 1 and 2 in the women's poll. NBA, Luka Doncic scored 46 in the Lakers' 129-118 win over the Bulls. Top-seeded Arina Sabalenka beat 18-year-old American Eva Jovic to reach the semifinals of the Australian Open. Shedeur Sanders of the Browns has been selected as an AFC Pro Bowl replacement QB, and the Giants and outfielder Harrison Bader agreed to a 2-year, $20.5 million contract. Gethin Coolbaugh, AP Sports.